Ladies and gentlemen and in-betweeners, I'm your host, Alexander Rodriguez, here for On the Rocks radio show, where celebrities and cocktails mix tonight. Pumpkin spice is everywhere, literally like everywhere. Pumpkin spice flavored asparagus. But my favorite part of the holiday season is, of course, Hallmark movies. And we have Hallmark hunk himself, Brennan Elliott from the Heart for You franchise, Strong Medicine, Unreal, Night at the Museum, and of course, my personal favorite, The Curse of Chucky, which we're going to talk all about. I love it! Oh, wow. We also have the gorgeous host of LA Happy, your favorite drinking web series, actresses from stage, TV, and film, Pilar Holland and Katina Nikou. Whew, did I get that right? Yes. With my guest co-host, non-profiteer, and content creator for IMDb, media coordinator for the Emmys, Mr. Ron Sylvester is here. So raise a glass and let the show begin.
Thank you for being
Boulevard.
Life is a banquet, and most poor suckers are starving to death.
I'd like to propose a toast.
This is On the Rocks with Alexander, coming at you from Sunset Gower Studios in the heart of Hollywood, where I drink with your favorite celebrities and we talk about fashion, entertainment, pop culture, reality TV, and that's about it. So pop a cork, pour a glass, lean back, and enjoy On the Rocks every Tuesday at 7 p.m. on Universal Broadcasting Network.
Fasten your seatbelts. It's going to be a bumpy night.
Oh, it's going to be a fabulous night, by the way. I've done so much research. I am so ready for this panel, by the way. Buttons and bows and pantyhose on the rocks, the place where we're too glam to give a damn. Okay, but no joke, pumpkin spice is everywhere, especially if you're in LA. Pumpkin spice Oreos, cereal, pancakes. I want to know where the pumpkin spice Slim Fast is for us curvy girls. Like, give a girl a break.
I had pumpkin froyo the other night.
It's
No, but, like,
overkill.
I'm on a little Slim Fast
Pumpkin
on the days I'm
spice
supposed to.
asparagus?
No, that's a joke, Brennan
That's
Elliott.
gotta be a joke. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Wait,
but pumpkin spice Slim Fast, I mean, I want to celebrate the holidays. I get strawberry and chocolate. That's all I get. And a sensible meal. Liquid meal for me tonight.
Pumpkin
Cheers to
spice
that.
vodka, maybe.
Yes, well, they do have that.
Do they?
I don't know. Well, I just made it up.
They do have that.
You better brand that. You gotta brand that.
Yeah,
Okay.
me.
Well, and they have
I own
pumpkin.
it. I own it.
Well,
It's
and
mine.
they have pumpkin flavored rum, but rum is like the only alcohol I cannot do.
I don't know about pumpkin
It's like
flavored
college.
alcohol.
Oh, it's
Bad for you?
delicious.
Rum?
No.
Not good?
No, rum is the only alcohol I will actually throw up on.
Really?
Yes, I mean, I drink a lot. These ladies can attest
I was
to
going to
that.
say.
But rum is the other one that goes, and you're like, oh, all right. And holiday season is like the season for vegans because everything's squash and whatever. They're like, see, you can be happy on vegetables. Okay, vegans, have you ever asked a pumpkin's mother what they think?
Are
Murderers!
you a vegan?
You're a vegan?
I'm
No,
a
you were talking about burgers.
Oh,
yeah, I'm a I'm a flexitarian.
What is
Girl,
Girl,
I like that.
I could go so many ways with that line, but I'm not going
It's
to.
a
I'm a
real
vegetarian.
thing.
A few drinks in, I eat meat.
It's
Yes.
a
It
real
sounds
thing.
oddly
Don't we all?
I
It
went
sounds
to a
oddly
movie
sexual.
premiere,
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah.
At the end of Meat, there was a man, a scientist on that movie that said flexitarian, and I said yes.
Okay. And what is exactly a flexitarian?
You consciously make choices to eat less meat
Right.
for your health and for the environment, but you do occasionally eat it.
Meat, because you do need it at some point, right?
Well, you need iron and, I mean, you need fun, you need taste, you need
Fun,
deli-
fun.
I'm on a keto
My
diet,
vote
so
is
obviously
fun.
I'm
Yes.
going to hell.
Okay,
That's all you're eating.
Brennan,
Oh, God.
get closer to the microphone.
I'm here, I'm
Are
here.
you really on a
He's just-
keto
he's
diet?
like-
Yes, I've explored the keto diet because a friend of mine told me.
I think it's just another fancy word for Atkins. It's going to get you in a
It
bad
pretty
mood.
is.
And
Yeah.
you're
It
gonna,
pretty much is because it's, when you eat enough meat and you eat vegetables and you try to you try to tell yourself it's a low residue diet. It's very healthy for you, but it's
Doesn't that mess up your
Define-
stomach? Like when you're filming and you're on like Hallmark, you're like.
I've only been doing it for I've only been doing it for 3 weeks.
Seriously.
Well, you know, on Hallmark. I
Define
like to-
residue.
Well, you know,
No, it's a family show.
no.
no, I don't want to go there.
All right.
You gotta keep the content.
Maybe after a couple of these we'll get.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I was exploring it and it felt good for a while, and then it got really weak, and I went back to
Sometimes exploring is not the answer.
No, that's true. That's true.
I've been exploring
uncommittal
intermittent
with it.
fasting.
No, see, that's.
See, that's
You,
even-
Yes,
you do the
too.
intermittent
Talk about
fa- you do
feeling
the
bad.
intermittent
16-8,
fasting?
yes, exactly.
But
does
that's
that mean,
part of
16?
keto.
You fast for 16 hours, you eat in an
I know.
8
How
hour
does
window.
that? How
Oh,
does,
So
how
that's
does
like,
that feel?
so you're
had
basically
somebody-
doing the white version of the Ramadan, is what you're telling me.
Oh my God.
I would not ever
Ron,
put
how
it that
long
way.
have you been
but
doing that?
You know what I'm
That's
talking
funny. I have a lot of Muslim friends. Yeah,
Ramadan
They-
for like
and
2 months.
They don't
Oh,
eat all
no.
day, and then at night they just gorge.
they
or something,
gorge, and it's
right?
like that's not
How do you
healthy.
feel?
Good. I like it.
What?
I do.
Really?
I like
Because you've
it.
been in a bad mood
Can
since
you
the
eat
beginning.
anything? Can you eat anything you want during those 8
Yes,
hours?
exactly. That's kind of.
So you don't eat for
the-
16, and
you
then
don't
like
eat
at
for
9
16,
o'clock
So
at night,
weird.
you're just
I would
Right,
sleep for
until,
16
like-
hours, but that's all I would do.
I've thought about
Yeah.
it. Trust me, I have. But yeah, around noon or 1 o'clock, you start counting down, and then you just start eating for the next 8 hours, and then you stop at 8 o'clock.
Are you finding yourself losing weight? Do you
Yes.
feel cleaner?
Yes, I have.
Really?
Yes, exactly.
But is it water weight or is it real weight?
No, it's a combination. I think.
Mostly water,
Yeah.
probably.
No,
and
in
Brennan,
the beginning it may be, but I feel tighter.
It's so interesting because they say breakfast is the most important part of
And
I
meal of
hate
the day.
breakfast.
And
It's not-
I
number
never
one, it's
used to. I
boring.
work out in the morning, so I never used to be able to do that, and now I
Right.
do it without even.
But
Really?
breakfast is so boring. You get you get eggs, you get bread. I want like fun at breakfast.
Yeah.
Like meat. What?
Yes.
A Bloody
Like a
Mary.
meat parade.
A Bloody Mary's always fun at breakfast.
But it's funny.
Extra
A,
olives.
a nice New Amsterdam.
Yes. Well, it's funny because in A Heart for You, you literally, they make you eat for the whole movie because she's always feeding you like the baked goods and you're always like nibbling. And
Yeah,
I'm
and I
like,
have
how
to be
many
very-
takes
I
was
have
that?
to- Well, in the second movie, which is not the first and third are more my favorite, but the second movie, there's a couple scenes in a row where I'm eating.
That's the ghost again.
There we go.
I'm trying to be present but omnipotent at the same time.
Oh, no, we have a ghost and it makes the light go out every single show.
That's
and that's
my-
not a joke. And last
Really?
time,
That's my
the
backlight,
glass
damn it.
just like shattered. No, we had psychic in here. There's really a ghost.
I
Anyway.
love a good
I'm a
ghost.
leaner, so I'll get closer to the mic. No, we ate. I mean, I might have had 5 scones. Like,
Wow.
and they're not little scones; they're big.
So did I, but I wasn't in them film.
No, but that's the thing. It's like I can't. So then you don't have. The business is nuts, right?
Yeah. Well, you know when Emily Blunt did that scene in Devil Wears Prada where she's doing the chocolate pudding,
Yes.
she had to spit it out because they did 32 takes of that, and she was like,
Really?
she just couldn't eat anymore because of
No
her diet,
kidding.
but that she was like, I
I
can't
recurred
eat
on a
anymore.
show called What About Brian, and I played this real estate agent, and I go to a house and there's all these cupcakes. And
Yeah.
we did 13 takes,
Oh,
and I had to
no.
eat the cupcake through like a 3-page scene. Well, I had 13 cupcakes. Now, when you have 13 full-on chocolate
Yeah.
cupcakes,
Yeah.
you just go,
Oh my
it's
god.
rank.
Yeah.
Well, Brennan, if you ever need a stunt eater, just let me know. We're about the same frame, same height, same complexion. I think it'd be perfect.
It's interesting when they do that many takes, though. I did a Noah Baumbach movie, and we did like 30 takes
I know.
per. Yeah.
Especially features. You can do, like, features can, like, they'll do a page and a half a day.
That's what
Yeah.
I know.
You know what I
Like,
mean?
that's
Like,
all we did
and you
today.
get bored. You're like, come on, this is not rocket
It
science.
was crazy.
Whereas,
Yeah.
like on other TV movies, we shoot some of these things. We shoot them in 15 days.
Well, we
Oh, wow.
got some questions that we're going to get to about what the actual shoot day is like. I just did a Tide commercial. I don't know if you guys saw it. And it was like a 30-second Tide commercial. It took
Alexander.
us 6 hours.
Oh yeah.
Oh my
You
gosh.
do laundry.
I have been on the
That's-
set of.
Yes, I do. Actually, I'm the only person in the commercial that doesn't do the laundry.
Shocker.
I saw
Yeah.
that took that long.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've done BTS
Wasn't my fault.
behind the scenes of a commercial, and like all day to do like one
Oh, yeah.
scene of a kid
Yeah.
wiping
Oh, yeah.
and looking up and saying something great about French fries from McDonald's, and
totally.
that was it.
It's because the executives are there, so it's
Right.
not just the director and the
It's-
producer. Then the executives have to give their notes. It's like, stop.
Right.
And you can't even change the to like any other word.
It's
like,
perfection.
no.
word.
There's
They
no
did-
perfection in art. There's no good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's just what's happening.
Yeah.
It sound kind of, weird, but if you got 5 or 6 people behind the camera trying to make a decision on something, everybody has a different.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
like you can say I love you a million ways. If you got a million people behind you, you'll be there all day.
Would you like to try some on me, Brennan?
Oh, yeah.
I love you.
The new Hallmark movie. That's 10 years down the making, by the way.
That's what I want to know. When are they going to make a gay Hallmark?
I actually got that question from.
Okay.
Wow.
a
And
fan.
I'm getting.
Seriously.
You know, holidays.
It's about time.
Yeah, but Hallmark has its.
To their defense, they are rebranding in a lot of ways. Not rebranding, but they're really exploring. I mean, there's a lot of shows where you have a lot of you have very few Caucasian in them. There's African American, there's
Yeah.
Asian, so they're really expanding, and I think that'll be down the road for sure.
Well, I would think that it'd be natural. Their audience is straight women and gay men. You know,
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
And-
Exactly.
I mean,
But
homo for the holidays.
coming home over the holidays.
Exactly.
Maybe I'll be
exactly.
the first one.
Make the Yuletide even more gay. I mean, this shit
I
writes
will say,
itself.
I will
Come
say
on.
this about
Everybody
Hallmark.
always comes
I
out
will
during the
say this, and I
holidays,
was,
too,
I was
right?
telling
You
your mom
did.
about this in the room. They listen to their fans more than a lot of networks. Like they'll listen and go, you know what, we're not doing this right, or we're doing this not enough, or we're doing too much of this, and you got to give them a chance to kind of,
Well, and Hallmark fans are still very conservative. I've never seen any hateful comments, but it's obviously very conservative. And because of that,
If they don't
they're
like something, they'll let you
sponsorship
know, though,
based,
yeah.
though, too.
Yeah.
Hallmark has very conservative sponsors.
Sponsors.
For
And
sure.
we've dealt with this through
It is.
LATV.
Yep, yep.
We're all for diversity and all that, but our buyers are
Yes.
are not, and so obviously you have to pay for the film. So I know Hallmark is doing.
But
steps,
a lot of the people that are actually in the creative decisions, a lot of the people when there's Bill Abbott and Randy Pope and Michelle Vick, these people they're wonderful and they're friends, but they listen to the fans and they go, okay, you know what, this is actually important to the community. This is something we got to do. And yes, they have to deal with their advertisers and all that.
It's a business.
But they want to make sure that their fans are happy and there's no bias at all. It's like, okay, how do we make this? Like 5, 6, 7 years ago, I was just telling Lacey, when you're the man on a Hallmark movie, you're kind of, you have a certain, this is what you do.
Oh, yes.
Where now it's changed, where it's like, I worked 15 days, she worked 14. We still were, it was our movie together. Now, you've earned that, maybe as an actor, but I think they're seeing that there's stories to be told through the perspective of a man, or through the perspective of women through men, or men through women, whatever, as opposed to just, so there's different things happening, different dynamics, which I think is healthy for the culture and for everybody.
I think they've changed so dramatically. I've been watching Hallmark. I watch the Christmas movies all year round, right? Especially when they preempt Golden Girls. Hello, Hallmark. No, but I've seen the differences over a 10-year period. Number one, the quality of the films is just
Amazing.
Much
Amazing.
better.
Oh,
yes.
for sure.
And you know what's
Everything
funny?
has changed.
When you look at in Netflix, or you look at different networks, Lifetime.
Yeah.
Lifetime's doing 24 Christmas movies. I did Unreal for Lifetime. They're a
Yeah.
great company, but everybody wants to get in touch with kind of, why does that work? It might not be our brand, but we want a piece of that. Well,
Yep.
maybe that work.
Yep.
And Hallmark has a pulse of what works. Now, specifically with Christmas, obviously that's been going on for a long time, but they know what works, and other networks want to do it because
they know exactly what works. These are movies that
That
bring
is a-
people together, generations. You can turn it on and not worry about somebody, a kid walking in and being offended. And they're all, everything ends happily. There's some,
and
minor ups and downs, but that's what
it's
we want from
fantasy.
our
It's
It's
feel
fantasy.
good.
It's fantasy
Yeah.
too, right? I've worked on every network and films and features and other networks where it's all different kind of brand. But with Hallmark, you have to understand the brand. And
Yes.
a lot of actors come in and they go, "Oh, we're having we're husband and wife. It's a kissing scene." You can only go so far because
Right.
that's the kind
It's
of
not
brand.
Skinamax.
No,
No,
you
you
know
have
what I
to
mean.
know
Like you
the
have to
brand of
respect the
anything.
brand and what they are, and they've been very, very good to listen to the network, to listen to fans, and to know what the network wants. And I think they need to have that credit because they could easily go, "It's a good business. We don't need to listen to you," but
Yeah.
they do. And I've seen it even in content that I've been a part of, where they've really taken a risk. Like if we did a mystery series, Crossword Mysteries, and there's a few scenes that are very NYPD, Serpent,
Yeah.
like they're intense. There's
Yeah.
some, and they want to kind of have a feeling. How does that test with their audience? And they're willing to take those risks. And I think you got to give them credit for that.
And diversity is such a hot button, especially with the trans and LGBT
Absolutely.
community.
Yep.
And I'm the only one that's on my side that says, no, you don't need gay or trans to play the part. You need a great actor to play the part. And if you have an A-lister that's going to sell box office tickets, so we're going to get the story told or not told based on who you cast, then cast to tell the story. That's where I'm on. So I understand that diversity needs to take baby steps.
Yeah.
Because then sometimes we can put ourselves back in a box. I
But
know I have a
it also
unique
has to be the
take on
right
that.
steps.
Yes.
Yeah, isn't
Anybody
it
can take
interesting
a
that a
step.
trans or I'm not even sure what the right words are nowadays, but it has to
There's
be.
so many words now.
There are,
Oh.
but that trans has to play trans. It's like, why can't they play just a woman?
Yeah.
Or
Well,
why
I mean,
does it- why
I
does
want
it
a
work?
good actor who's going to sell tickets. That's what I want. If I'm an investor, if I'm the movie producer, sorry.
Right, but I'd like to see an opportunity be extended to
1,000%.
Oh,
a
yes.
gay character playing, or a gay actor playing a gay character.
They need to
There's
be
Child
getting
plenty,
the
actor,
there's
gay
audition.
plenty
character
of
could be
gay
sure.
actors that are brilliant.
I know.
But also, I think
And
a gay
and
actor
why
could play
can't
a
they?
straight
Straight
actor.
guy. Yeah,
Right,
exactly.
right.
So
I
it
understand.
needs
Or
to
a
just.
gay actor playing a straight, but of course,
right.
I have a very, very good close friend of mine. I won't, obviously he'd be probably embarrassed because he's very shy, but he's a great actor.
What's
He's-
his phone number?
He's a proud gay man. He's a wonderful guy, and he's a very, 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 very good actor. And he plays straight all the time. And he wants to get that role. We can play that part of just being himself. And even though in those parts he is playing parts of himself, and I think that that's the next step. I've been in LA for 17 years, and I've seen such a change in the business, as I'm sure you guys have had, such a change. The content on TV and film now, you couldn't get away with it in 2000, 2002.
Stuff
Oh,
I'm seeing in
absolutely,
sitcom TV. I'm like,
Oh, yeah.
it blows my
Oh
mind.
my
Like,
God.
wait, they just said that at 8 p.m. on,
amazing.
Yeah.
ABC?
Yeah.
Seriously.
And then FX. Well, God, FX.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm like, don't need to see that.
Well, I remember when Queer as Folk came out, and everybody was like, "This is
Shocked.
This is
Mouth on the floor, shocked.
It's a great show. It
Yeah.
did really well, and now it's
You
not
should
even,
do the
that's not
reboot.
even
It's not
shock.
even shocking,
You know what I mean?
right.
No.
I would love to see you in the reboot. Anyway, we're all jumbled out here. Thank you to our sober listeners for tuning in. We love you. Thank you for holding our hair back and driving us home. If drunk texting was related to my credit score, I'd be driving a BMW and not a Lyft. Hello to our listeners around the nation on iHeartRadio, Universal Broadcasting Network, Player FM, Stitcher, TuneIn, Satchel, iTunes, Google Play, and Spotify. Of course, we are national on Facebook Live, on Trending Now app, on The Rocks, of course, Universal Broadcasting Network, and of course, Bear World Magazine. Rawr. Check out my celebrity interviews, movie news, and movie reviews every week. This week, Macaulay Culkin is begging J.K. Rowling to be cast in Fantastic Beasts 3, and that's not even a joke. That's true. Can you imagine the insurance on that one?
Yeah.
I think he deserves another chance.
Oh, I think he's a great actor. He was so good in Party
Oh
Monster.
my God, Party Monster is one of my
Did you
most
like that
favorite
movie?
movies.
It's one of my favorite movies.
It is one of my
From
favorite
the
movies.
soundtrack
Yes,
to the
check
texture.
the book. I read the book. I
Yeah.
was diehard. I don't know why, but yeah.
And he was good in that. But Fantastic Beasts 3, I mean, you can't just come out and then be in Fantastic Beasts 3.
Yeah.
You got to do baby steps, Macaulay Culkin.
But look at he earned it. He's been here
I'm sorry,
forever.
Macaulay. You're home alone
I love
by yourself, wanting to be in the Beast movie.
Yeah.
Macaulay. I'm rooting
But
for
he
you.
is great. You know what? I mean, that was my jam when I was a kid. This guy's brilliant. I was like, this guy's awesome. This
Yeah,
guy's
he's a
awesome.
great actor, but he also has some problems,
Yeah.
too. So.
But he fell on hard times, so maybe this is the thing.
Girl, I
that'll-
fall on hard times. I'm not going to be in Fantastic Beasts 3.
But you're on the
I was in
rocks,
rehab
though.
at 3 p.m. this afternoon. Just kidding. Totally kidding. The sober listeners, no, there I go again. I know. Also, Deadpool 2 is being re-released in time for the holidays, and it's being re-released as a PG-13 movie. And they're adding
What?
a
I'm
princess.
sorry.
And they're
What?
What?
Yeah.
What?
And they're adding a Princess Bride spin to it. So Deadpool is reading to Fred Savage, and then it goes as a flashback to the movie. 1,000%.
No, you're lying.
1,000%.
Ryan,
Wow.
what are you doing?
Wait,
That's a new
what?
No, it's good money. Are you kidding?
Fred Savage.
He's recreating his Princess Bride role, and he's being told the story. 1,000%. You guys
No.
haven't heard of this?
No.
You guys, it's
And I read Deadline every day.
Me too. What?
it's true, you guys.
What? That's something I'm Googling immediately.
Yes.
What
Yeah,
the
I
hell
think
is
we need to do that
happening?
now.
Wow.
Anyway, nothing says ho ho ho.
Kurt's Googling it now.
Then Fred Savage.
Yes.
Look at this.
Oh, there we go.
Deadpool
Look,
my
look
God.
at this set
Cut
picture.
will feature Fred Savage. Shut up.
But wait,
Reprising
what's
the
the
print-
website here?
and
Is this something
Deadpool-
reliable?
Deadpool is reading the book to him.
It's been on many, many different
His
sites.
grand-
So it's a scene that's going to be cut into the movie. For
And they're going to
PG
edit
feel.
out. Yeah.
Yeah. Have you seen Deadpool 2? The actual.
I haven't seen it
Yes.
yet, but I
Oh,
love
it's
that.
so
I'm not a comic
good,
book.
isn't it?
It's
Yeah.
so good. It's better than the first
think
one.
so.
No,
I like the
disagree.
first one.
The first
No,
one was
first one's
better.
great.
The
First
first one
one's
was
great.
better.
I love it because I don't like
No, we think
superhero
it's better
films. I
than the
just
first
don't.
one.
Can I
I'm
weigh
with
in
you
as a
there.
writer?
I'm
Can I
with
weigh
you
in as a
there.
writer?
Katina's a
Boring,
writer. She
boring.
wants to write.
Katina, the writer, wants to weigh in here.
Do you want to rewrite? Do you want to do a page 1 rewrite?
I just feel like Deadpool 1 was really well done. Deadpool 2 was legit or an exact replica. Jokes, everything, timing. It felt lazy. It felt like it was Deadpool 1 all over again.
See, I don't like when a movie gets like,
I hate that.
Annabelle 14. We don't need any more Annabelle movies.
Here's the thing, though. Like,
Did
if
you go with
Deadpool 1
lazy?
is one of the most successful,
Yeah.
why would you not do the same thing over
But that's
again?
just-
But
And
I
it's the
understand
same
that.
Over, but they added extra.
But there is some extra stuff that is
there's
fun.
extra.
I'm not disagreeing with you
to
that we
be
didn't
extra
feel like the same
on
movie.
top of good.
A Heart for You has its formula that works, but you guys are different in every film.
But that's what
Something
I'm
different
saying.
is
I get the
programmed.
formula works,
Well,
but
Hallmark
like, can
doesn't
we?
like to do sequels, and to their defense, I mean, they'll do sequels because the fans are asking for a
Right.
sequel. But we don't like to really.
But you guys have done something different.
Different.
Yeah.
That's-
Yeah,
I-
and the third one, Lacey and I both executive produced it, so we had our hands more.
I saw that
and I
in
wanted
the
to make
credits.
sure it was, you know, the whole story is you meet somebody, it's different, you're all different people, it's going to work.
Mm-hmm.
Then you live together, and it's like, oh, this is weird. This movie had to feel like we were living together, we were one unit, and it was all comfortable.
I have a question.
And
Actually,
I made sure every scene was like, guys, we got to be more comfortable.
we got
Gotta
this
be more
question from the internet. Are your characters supposed to be living in separate rooms at the inn?
Hallmark hasn't put us in the same bed yet.
Yes.
Oh my god!
No.
A fan caught that, so I went back and watched.
A
it. Like,
fan caught
"You're
that. I've been
right."
at the airport
Yeah.
going, you're getting, you should, have you guys had sex yet? And I'm like, I don't know.
I also got
It's kind of a, we haven't, no one's seen us, obviously in the first movie we're in separate beds, obviously.
Yeah.
But no one has seen us in, but
Yeah.
yes. But I think if
I
there's
get
a
it, but
fourth,
it's funny
we'll
because
be,
I'm like, well,
That's
because
a
you'll
big
be
step.
married by then.
Well, yeah, we're married now. We
Yeah.
just got
Yeah,
married. But that's a big step.
Congratulations.
Well, it's so funny. I was actually going to. Can I just
It was a
compliment
beautiful wedding. You
No,
missed
no.
it.
I should have brought a toaster.
Your guest had to pay
In the movie, we got married.
Yes, but your guest had to pay
No.
$32,000
I
just to go to the
gave you
goddamn wedding.
I gave you cash.
And you know what?
It's in the mail.
I spent it on goat feed. I mean,
It got
I was
lost.
like, did they still have to bring a wedding gift? Anyway,
Yeah.
Was
you
it an
guys
open
were
bar?
so funny.
I swear to God, I sent
32.
it.
I mean, and
called
everybody
the
loves that
bouquet.
scene. And I'm going, they just gave us $32,000 to have a wedding.
I'm really glad it was a smaller amount. It wasn't the full amount to save
You know what
the
the
day.
original
I love
script
that.
had? This I can only say this here because hopefully it's cut.
This is
$126,000.
live.
Oh,
It's not
okay.
cut.
Is it
We
live?
didn't cut it.
It was 126. And Terry, the director, and I went. That seems like a lot of
That
money
is a,
for
for
a
a
wedding.
small
lot of money
town.
for a wedding.
I thought Ed Asner was going to bring out his checkbook and then it was going to. That's what
In
I
that
thought.
scene, he actually does come out and put some money in. But he was, am I shooting tomorrow? Whatever. And we said,
is that-
we didn't need it. So.
Is that your Ed Asner?
That actually is the way.
It was
that
more like
speaks.
this. It was more like this.
That's pretty
It
spot
was
on.
more like this.
I wondered. In fact,
I
there's.
can't. That if Lacey hears this, she's gonna laugh.
I
that's
want to
terrible.
compliment you. You
Yeah.
bring up Lacey, like it's just beautiful. He's always like Lacey and I.
know.
Lacey and
That
I.
We're very
is
good
great.
friends.
Well, they
She's such a
better
sweet-
like each other.
Very, very
you
good
guys
friends.
are
Can I
doing a
just
whole new
say-
thing.
When we used to work at the restaurant that we met at as BFFs, I used
What
to wait
restaurant
at,
was that?
This is Villa Blanca.
Hooters.
Oh, Villa Blanca.
Wow.
Hey, I'm wearing a push-up today, actually. But
But I used to wait on Lacey all the time, and
Yeah.
she's so fantastic.
She's
and so
fantastic.
sweet.
I've heard
Yeah.
nothing but amazing
On,
things.
and
that
I
you
would
work for.
listen. I would tell you. I probably wouldn't.
oh,
No, I'm
is
kidding.
that? Wait, no.
she's
Oh,
fantastic.
that's Ed.
That's our first.
That's not
movie.
Lacey. Lacey's on the right, Pilar.
This is-
Ed is in the middle.
That feels like another
Ed is
world
in the
ago.
middle.
But yeah, no, she's a very good friend, and she's a wonderful, wonderful human being. I have nothing but great things to say.
Your
about her.
guys'
You're
chemistry
sweet,
is
right?
so fantastic. So I'm glad you guys are working in more projects.
Yeah, it's
I
weird.
loved Lost in Space, by the way, and I'm upset they didn't do more sequels to the remake of Lost in
Oh,
Space.
I have yet to watch that.
You need to watch
I
it.
know,
It's a
I know, I
great
know.
film.
What's your
I have a
favorite
great-
movie of all
I have
time?
a great June Lockhart story.
Requiem for a Dream.
You're a Leto fan then. You're a big Jared Leto fan.
Not so much.
That's before he became
Very twisted.
who he. It's
My
almost like in
so-called
that
life.
movie he was finding himself. Like, he used to
wasn't
be like.
yeah.
you know,
well,
like-
when you have Ellen Burstyn and Jennifer Connelly in a scene with you when you're Jared Leto, and he's like, act good, act good. No.
Yeah, and now he's kind of like found his voice and he's kind of
Yeah.
doing some more interesting stuff.
But
yeah.
Requiem for a Dream is one of my favorite. The Women, the original black and white, The
Yeah.
Women is one of my
Yeah.
favorites, and Frida is another one of
Oh,
my
wow,
favorite
really?
movies.
That's a great.
Wow, wow.
Yeah, and not because I'm Latino, but because it's a good film.
Yeah.
I'm fake
I'll give you.
Latino.
I'll
Just
give you
reading
that.
Salma's story on that whole experience. You read that, right?
Yeah, the
Yeah,
whole thing.
The whole.
In fact,
makes me sick.
there's a book.
It makes you sick.
Well,
yeah,
there
her
was a
sto-
lot
what
of
she had to
problems.
do.
Well, her unibrow made me sick.
Wow.
But
No.
that's a whole other. That's a vanity.
Hey,
Too soon? Are we too soon to say that?
all
Harvey
women are
stuff.
beautiful.
The
I
heart.
didn't
get
say
her
she
to a
was
spa,
beautiful. I said the
please.
unibrow made.
Yeah.
Listen,
Frida
she's
didn't make
gorgeous,
me
but
sick.
the unibrow was.
Selma's story
Yeah.
made me. Like,
yeah,
I'm with you there.
I'm an Irish Italian. I show up sometimes and they got to pluck some of that in the middle too. You know. I
Oh,
mean,
good,
you know.
good. I'm glad you get to do that as well.
Oh, you're like. She noticed. She's like, dude, it's about time.
Yeah, really. Same way.
Oh my God, you guys, this show. For all of our audio
Anyway.
listeners, you can check out the video stream on Facebook. If you're still on Facebook, on the Rocks Radio Show. Brendan, where's your Facebook fan page?
I don't have Facebook.
I know, why?
I'm actually one of the biggest
What's
computer non-geeks of all time.
but
Lacey
everybody's
actually
talking
got-
about you on Facebook,
I
but they
know.
can't
Again,
tag
guys.
you.
We have like
Lacey.
700,000 fans on Facebook. I don't have a
Is
Facebook
Lacey gonna
page.
call in? I feel like we need a Lacey to
really.
call
She's
in.
in.
Should
She's.
come here.
I
She's
should.
probably
call- I should-
horrified. She's like,
No, she got me.
talking about me.
She gave me an Instagram page like 2 weeks ago.
yeah, we need to teach you hashtags.
And someone told me
captions.
Twitter. It's
Oh my
over.
God, you're not even framing
I'm
the
like,
picture right, Brennan.
I
It's
know.
making me cry.
Dude, it's awful.
He's
it's
not framing
awful.
right.
No, just like everything missing, and then there's no caption. He's like, goat.
It's terrible. It's awful. You know, I'd have more of a career if I knew how to do Instagram and everything else.
Follow Brennan Elliott too.
You can actually hire someone to do that these days.
I'm going to need a
There's-
brand manager, and I think her name is Lacey
Social media
Chabert.
management
Oh my
is
God,
a
Lacey.
real thing these
Listen,
days. Yes.
I mean,
If this isn't,
I'm giving you
hold
material
up,
here.
Hold up. Did Lacey just become a drinking game?
yeah.
Oh, every time
Every
he
time
says
you say
Lacey, we
Lacey,
drink.
we have
Yes.
to drink.
Done. I need
Yes.
more.
Yes.
Clearly.
I should just call
I think
her.
this is a drinking game. You guys, if you're watching, grab
Every
a drink.
time
Grab
he
a
says
drink.
Lacey,
Every
that's
time
what
Brendan
I'm
says
saying.
Lacey, drink.
Drink.
I actually love it because when they do interviews on Home and Family, and
I'm calling her right now. I'm calling her right now.
Oh my God.
I am.
God, this is amazing.
Can we do a phone patch? Quick. Can we do a phone
I
patch?
need
Yeah,
a
but she probably
mixer.
It's 11 o'clock.
If she
She's
only
sleeping.
knew.
She's in
Yeah.
Toronto.
If she only knew.
I'm just glad.
I'm good for now, but I will
I'm just
definitely
glad that we get
partake.
this time with you because your guys' interviews are so great.
She's amazing. She's really a really
You guys,
wonderful
when you
actor.
guys do Home and Family, when
Yeah.
you guys did Extra with Mario Lopez,
Right.
you guys interview so well together.
Oh, thank you.
But it's very like proper. Like we're getting to know Brennan. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
Like
appreciate that.
rolling up the sleeves.
We're rolling up the sleeves now?
Yes.
It could get dark real quick. It could get dark.
There'll be a taking off the shirt later.
I think that should be
Right.
in the next film, or in the murder mysteries.
Yeah.
I think maybe you get covered with blood and you'd be like, whoop, whoop.
Ah, there's so much blood.
That's
That long, lingering
There's so
shower
much-
scene.
there's
shot.
there's so much Hallmark blood. That's
My-
a whole different show, by the way,
Yes,
Alexander.
yes.
It's a whole
well,
different show.
That's
Different
the after-
network, different
It's
network.
like Hallmark After Hours.
Yeah, you know what? It is a
Oh,
different.
yeah.
It is a different
Yeah.
network. Barbara Niven always talks about that. She wants Hallmark After Hours.
Yeah.
I think so for like
Oh,
like
yeah.
the discerning
What do
adult
you
that
think?
the
I'm
kids
in.
go to
Yeah, I'm
bed.
watching.
That's-
You need
that's
a
your
little
network.
I'm there.
Yeah. My mom, Mama Rose, is in the chat room on uvanradio.com and
Mama
Facebook.
Rose.
Ask her your question. She'll answer it. She's done her research. Also, if it's a burning question, we will ask it on the air. Keep her busy. She's near the vodka. I don't need her.
This is your mother?
Drunk text.
Wonderful lady.
Wonderful.
Love
Yeah,
her.
yeah.
How do
Love
you think
her.
I was
I
born?
do too.
Vodka.
Yeah.
Hello to our engineer, Kurt. Thanks again for dressing up.
Woo!
You're welcome.
Oh, God, Kurt.
Kurt. Thanks for making us sound good.
Kurt's shirt says 1981's a great year. I don't know.
I was
It's,
going to say.
yeah.
I'm sorry, that's terrible.
I love
He was
81.
born in '89, but
Hey.
I always joke that he's like a lesbian working on an oil rig. Like that's what he comes dressed as.
I mean, I'm not on camera. What do I care?
Kurt, we have
That's
celebrity
what-
guests. Hello, I wear this.
He wore a.
And some
a
specs.
I actually
coat.
wore a jacket because
I
someone
know.
said we're going to
Yeah.
be live. So
Yes.
if I wouldn't,
I really appreciate it. I have seen
Well, he
every kind of
dresses up all
outfit.
the
He
time.
always
Yeah,
dresses
that's
up.
my brand.
I don't usually
That's
wear
it.
these.
You do.
This
I
is
think
a
you have the
special
largest selection of
Really?
black clothing I've seen on anybody.
Well, and with the
Next to Johnny Cash.
well, and
obviously.
with the new TV
Ron.
show, they're putting
Johnny
in
Cash.
nothing.
You're a Johnny Cash
You
fan?
should see
Yeah.
his outfits on
Oh.
Glitter Bomb.
They're
I
all
have yet
pastel.
to see.
They're all
Glitter Bomb.
pastel. And
It's
I'm like,
nice.
Well,
it's
it's so-
It's changed.
Okay,
Hey.
guys.
oh,
Calling back.
put
All
her
right,
on speaker.
Put her
Drink.
on speaker.
Lacey,
Oh, drink, guys.
Drink. Everybody drink.
I have you on the rocks with Alexander. It's a huge show. I have you on this huge show, and basically they're telling me that this whole interview is live on Facebook, and it's basically about you. So I thought I'd call you, and this is a very
This is
big
real.
deal.
He has said your name I don't know how many times, so we've turned it into a drinking game.
Okay.
Every time he says Lacey,
We have to drink.
Put her on speaker.
Oh no.
Okay.
Lacey, congratulations on the wedding.
You make a lovely couple.
We're dealing with all in my heart, and all the fans are questioning in and everything else. So I had to call you. So
Yes.
you're actually. What is this called? She's in on the internet.
On the Rocks, we're on
Rocks. On the Rocks
iHeartRadio,
with
Spotify,
Lacey.
iTunes, Google Play, every outlet where you're on, Lacey, right now.
We're playing on the moon.
What's your call time tomorrow?
Early.
Oh, sorry.
I was already half asleep right now, and I just.
Oh,
Lacey,
Lacey.
I told them that you basically created my Instagram account, and they just think that I'm a complete idiot. So
Well, you are.
Lacey, get him on Facebook.
We just said Lacey I don't know how many times.
Oh, drink.
I'm not on Facebook, so I.
Lacey's not on it either.
You guys.
Oh my gosh.
And Lacey, I'm going to start the hashtag Lost in Space reboot with Lacey. I love that Lost in Space.
Aw.
Thank you. That was so much fun. We had such a good time filming that.
Oh my God, I can't believe we're talking to Lacey.
I would love to stay and talk, but if I don't go to
Yes,
bed,
yes,
All
yes.
Yes.
Go to bed.
it'll work.
Lacey, go to sleep. I'll talk to you
I'll be up
probably
in-
never again.
Bye,
Be
Lacey.
never.
Never call again.
Well, she's working with Brendan Penny, so he has a D in his name, so maybe that's something better. She's gone from Brennan to Brendan.
I was going to
I'm
say.
kidding. I'll talk to you later, love. Okay.
Bye, Lacey.
Bye.
Drink.
Drink.
That's on the Rocks. You just never know
On the
who's gonna
Rocks
call.
is me and Lacey now.
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, clearly.
We had Tippi Hedren call in once. I was like, Tippi, what are you doing listening to
Wow.
this show?
That's actually very funny. She
Yes.
called.
Well, she actually was on the show then for a whole episode. That was so interesting.
Yeah.
Sorry. Kurt, do you have a pun for us? You're so punny. You have to give him his time
Give
or else
us
he
a
turns
good
off
pun.
the microphones.
Yeah, I do have a pun for you.
What's your pun?
So I have a friend who made an origami business.
But it folded?
There
Oh, I got it! I never get that right. I never, ever.
Wow.
No, you don't
that
get
was
laughter,
amazing.
Kurt. No,
That was
no laughter
good.
for you.
Your shirt just went into the 90s with that. It went from 81 to 93.
Wait, can I ask if Kurt has a wasabi pun? One time we were trying to find wasabi puns and we couldn't find any. Do you have a good
pressure.
wasabi pun? No pressure.
I don't.
I'm sure he'll have one by the end of
Are
the
you a
show.
big
Okay.
sushi girl? Is that what? Is that
Well,
what?
for our show, we had
these wasabi fries that we had.
we were
down.
trying to find a
sound
wasabi
amazing.
pun and we couldn't think of a good one.
They were so good. Down in
maybe
Little
by the
Tokyo.
end.
Yeah, maybe by the end I'll have one for you.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, Google that.
Thank you so much,
Wasabi
Kurt.
pun.
Like us on Twitter and Instagram at On The Rocks On Air, Facebook On The Rocks Radio Show. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Find us on the web, ontherocksradioshow.com. Send me an email. Book me for a wedding, funeral, quinceanera, bris. I don't care. I will show up. Info at On The Rocks Radio Show. I do weddings, and they're a lot of fun. I take all the attention, to be honest. I'm like, divorce.
Oh my God.
Next week on the show, we have From the Room, the best worst film ever made. We have Tommy Wiseau
No.
with actor Greg
Are you
Sestero,
kidding
me?
who wrote
Really?
the book The Disaster
I
Artist,
have to be in that
which
movie.
became James Franco. Well, here's the
gosh.
thing.
Dude.
I have really bad news.
Is
we
it just like a cutout?
we pre-recorded it last week. They were here. Kurt, he came in with the script from The Room, and he signed it, and then Greg signed The Disaster Artist for me.
Oh, wow.
What did you think of the original The Room?
As like a study piece, it was
Yeah.
fascinating.
Yeah. It's out of this world.
Oh,
It's another world.
It's like watching an Ed Wood film. And then who knew?
Ron?
10
Yeah,
years
yeah.
it was
Your words.
sleeper until it became a cult, and then now we
Well,
love it.
Franco made it into a,
Yeah.
Now, the credits roll, and you're just like,
Is this
what
really?
was that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh no,
That's like-
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was my experience.
Yeah.
Anyway, that episode will be airing next week, and it was a really, really great episode. I was really surprised by how succinct Tommy was and his outlook on filmmaking and acting, because they have a new film called Best Friends that they're both in all these years later, and it's actually a pretty good film. So watch out for that episode last week. But we had to pre-record it just to make sure it happened.
I want acting lessons from Tommy Wiseau.
Well, here's, and Ron, you'll love this. He's making The Room into a Broadway musical.
Oh my God.
No.
And we joked
really?
about me covering the auditions, and he said, yeah, sure.
What?
Can you imagine me at the auditions? 'Cause
Oh my
we know
God.
his audition.
Here's to us.
And when is that going to
Yeah.
happen?
He's looking for about a year and a half away.
It's called I Need Funding,
Yeah,
right?
well.
Like-
Hey, he's cult status right now. If he did
Oh.
it right now, he would get that funding.
Oh, probably.
Wait 2 or 3 years? No,
yeah.
no. But they recreated that scene from Dark Knight on The Nerdist, where Tommy plays the Joker and Greg plays
Funny.
Batman. Yeah. Talk about surreal, like sitting next to them after years and years of like knowing about them. Anyway.
Well, they read or rode the award half the award season very high
Yes.
until the James Franco situation,
Yeah.
which was
I was
kind
about
of
to- that's
right.
what popped in
Exactly.
my head.
That's what they were. They were.
But he
just-
never really got hit by
and
that.
then
you
he
know?
didn't.
He
He
kind of
didn't.
Which is super frustrating.
But by the end of the award season, he really had to pull back.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
of
Which they didn't speak any ill will. They were very PC about the movie, The Disaster Artist. So I give them credit. It was a great interview. We had a really great time.
Cool.
And it's a very special interview. So I look forward to that. All right, real quickly before we get into everything, my new national TV talk show, Glitter Bomb, currently broadcasting to over 22 million homes. Thank you.
Great job. Glitter.
We were covered in People Magazine, and we are one of
my
the
God.
new must-watch shows by New Now Next.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
You guys
Hey,
are so
seriously,
much fun.
seriously,
I went to
a
the premiere.
toast
I went
to
the
you,
premiere.
my
A
friend.
toast
Thank
to
you.
the Glitter Bomb
Because
show.
when I met you, do you remember?
I was a corporate banker, you guys.
He was our banking
I've heard these-
relationship
That's
manager.
so
Wait,
crazy.
I would
was
not
your-
want
wait,
him
wait, he
handling
was
my hedge
your
fund.
Specific?
Well, I was the chairman of the board of the Long Beach Gay and Lesbian Center, and we banked at the bank that Alexander worked, and he was introduced to us as our
Oh my
banking
God.
relationship
That's
manager.
so
It was
crazy.
probably about
And then he
6
joined.
years ago.
Yeah, then he joined the board when
Yeah.
we became.
So do you have,
friends,
like, a finance
and
degree,
He
or is
said,
that what you-
I've got to
I
do
mean-
something better than this.
Yeah, yeah.
And
I
said,
was one of
"Go
the
do it."
youngest vice presidents at City National Bank in their entertainment division right in Beverly Hills. So I handled, like, talk about celebrity stories that I can never tell.
Oh, dude.
I was the banker. I found out about breakups before anybody else because they said, we need to cancel this debit card. We need to take all the money out. We need to open up these side accounts. So-and-so needs to check in this hotel under this name, and you need to make it happen, blah, blah, blah. Oh, my God.
Ooh, tell us a good check-in hotel name. Don't tell us
guess.
whose it is. Can you tell us a check-in?
Let's just say a lot of the actors, especially the A-listers, they love to use names that are associated with their big films.
Oh, okay.
So there could be a Harry Potter-ish name being used.
Okay.
Oh, that's just
The
fun.
whole code name thing is really hysterical. I worked the Oscars for several years, and I worked the backdoor entrance where all the big stars come in, and you get a list, and it's like I get the list the first year, and I'm like, who are these
hell are
people?
these
Who are these people? Why are they being backdoored? Oh, let me tell you who they really are. So
Yeah.
that way on the radio and when you're announcing these people, on the walkies and everything, you're not actually divulging who's coming. So it's all by code name.
And with the bank, City National Bank, they really are the best in entertainment. They did the $1 million money for Frank Sinatra when his son got kidnapped. They had $1 million in unmarked. This was way back at that time. This put him on the map. They did the same thing for James Cameron when his director of photography got kidnapped when they were doing Titanic. Like City National Bank makes things happen for entertainment. So these actors would have debit cards made with these names.
Wow.
Because you have to put a card down for reservations, whatever. So the bank would literally emboss these names.
That's one of the.
Oh,
I
that's
use
so
one of those.
interesting.
I have City National, Wells Fargo. Yeah, City National's been great.
It's the best.
About who?
James Cameron.
Yeah, his director of DP was kidnapped.
know
in
that?
My name on my card's Lucy
Am
Chabert.
I?
Lacey
I
Chabert.
didn't know
That's what
that.
I use.
Thank you.
But when I go in there, everybody knows who it is. So.
She's so mad at you.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm plugging her. I mean, she's worth it. Listen,
I've been such a
she
fan
is
of
the
hers for so
sweetest
long.
lady on the planet Earth.
Yeah.
She really
well,
is.
you guys can tell. I mean, your guys' chemistry is. I mean,
Did you say Lacey again?
Yes.
Oh my God,
That's why I
Drake.
drank.
I
That's why
just said
Oh my
what
God.
my credit card says.
Drake.
Says that. That's my
anyway, tune in every Thursday at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 10 p.m. Go to latv.com/schedule for your local listings to see where I'm at. Look for Glitter Bomb. Kurt, can we play a little bit of this American Latino interview? This just came out this last week.
Ooh.
This is a great interview, by the way.
Is this with?
I'm Alexander Rodriguez.
And I'm Patrick Gomez. And I am Enrique Sopene. And I'm just super happy to be with these two guys doing Glitter Bomb.
Yeah, Glitter Bomb on LATV. Yes.
When does that start?
It started. We're
Oh,
week 2.
good for you.
Come on, Brennan.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Do your research.
I should. I don't. I just. Is it here or is it somewhere else? Where do you do the show?
National.
It's at a whole TV
That's
studio.
great, dude.
But we all met here on the show.
You guys met here?
Oh, is that how you all came together? That's what I wondered.
I thought
Were they
about
together
it originally,
as guests?
thinking, oh my God, we
Separate.
went to do his show and the dynamic was so great
So you
between
guys-
the three
you
of
brought
us.
them together.
And I thought,
Yeah.
how do we take this to the next step? And I thought, oh my God, there's no talk show about LGBT, Latinx, anywhere. There's something here. So I called Alexander and we sat down and we brainstormed.
Look,
and
he's not wearing
immediately said,
black.
oh my God,
I
we're
know.
great
Men's
for
Warehouse.
He's
guys.
happy.
Which I
He's happy.
obviously agreed.
Look how
the
bright.
next
Oh, God, I
second.
can't.
was more
You love
like-
it.
I love our set, though. Our set is
No, it's
pretty
great.
awesome.
Yeah.
He hates his outfits.
Okay, he's telling the nice version of it. He's like, oh, we had a meeting, blah, blah, blah. It was 4 martinis in at the Abbey. He's like, let's do a show.
The Abbey. Our
At
office.
the Abbey.
The truth. And it
You're
wasn't
doing what
the
you're supposed to be doing. I'm just letting you know that right
It was a
now.
martini. Welcome to Glitter Bomb.
Where we discuss the latest in pop culture, entertainment, and news.
Love it. It's
The
great.
name credit actually
All right,
goes
all
the
right.
way to Alexander.
Oh my God, that's so
And
exciting.
season 1, we have great. Justina Machado was in it. Jen Lyon. We have Real Housewives. We have Bravo TV people. We have former Miss USA. We have live performances. It's just a lot of fun. So check that out.
Congratulations.
Thank you
Yay,
so
Glitter
much.
Bomb.
And they're bringing us back early to film more episodes. So more guests.
Good for you.
A quick thank you to OC Fashion Week. This last week I attended. My friend and host, Bravo TV's Real Housewife of OC, Peggy Sulahian, was there. Kurt, play that picture. Look how beautiful she looked.
I
It
saw
was
that.
such a
Oh,
great.
I didn't know
yeah.
Peggy.
She was on the show.
Oh, she was on the
Everybody
show.
who's on the show,
So-
we become friends with. Like
Yes,
that's what
we
happens.
do.
Literally, if I show you like who I drunk text, you'd be like, oh.
They were on the show.
But it's like, well, I become because we have such a good time here,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know.
yeah. Yeah.
So we became friends from doing the show, and she invited me to OC Fashion Week, and it was a great cause, great fashion, great cocktails. Coming up, I am the MC for Palm Springs Pride again this year on the main stage, the first
Yay.
weekend of November. Make your travel plans. It is the way to end Pride season. It's fun.
is.
It's family friendly. It's whatever you want it to be. And on Saturday, I'm bringing up a number of celebrities that have been on the show. They're going to come pop up and surprise main stage. And then Sunday, my Glitter Bomb hosts are joining me in the Pride Parade and on the main stage. Let me introduce my bestie for tonight, Ron Sylvester. For over 25 years, he's been producing, directing a wide range of video projects with
I'm
his
that
own
old.
publicity. He started off at 10 years old. With
But
his
he's the youngest person who's thinking about retiring on Earth.
You're not
That's
supposed
not
to tell
even.
that.
He's
I mean,
never
that's
going
for
to
real.
retire.
That's for real.
Oh my God, he's going to set Palm Springs on fire. Anyway, with his own publicity and production company, RS/TV Incorporated, for movie premieres, Blu-ray publicity, as well as celebrity-related consumer launch events, he has solidified its place with the national entertainment shows as one of the premier sources of quality event coverage. They produce online entertainment content for IMDb at major events like Comic-Con, Sundance Film Festival. In fact, that Comic-Con yacht that you saw in everybody's pictures,
That's
IMDb. Sundance
get your
Festival.
business
I was just gonna say, where were we? What?
Yeah.
How did we miss that?
My IMDb page is like lacking right now.
Is it?
Your bio's a little old. It's a little
Everybody,
old.
that's the first thing everyone asks me when I tell them I work with IMDb. They said, "Can you change my picture?" Of course. I go into junkets and they're like, "Oh, IMDb, can you change my picture?" I'm like, "I've got a person to call here."
In addition, he has managed the media logistics of the Primetime Emmys, Red Carpet, and Backstage Press Center for the last 2 years. And you guys need to
Very
look
cool.
at his social media as well.
Very, very cool.
In addition to being a powerhouse in Hollywood, creating amazing content, he's got a long history of nonprofit work in the community, which is how we met, most notably as the president and chairman of the board of the LGBTQ Center of Long Beach from 2009 to 2016, literally working from the ground up to save this organization and make it the thriving
Good for you.
organization that
Good
it is
for
now.
you.
Dude, that's very sweet of you. Thank you.
He currently sits on the board of directors for APLA Health, which provides no-cost and low-cost primary and HIV healthcare in the Los Angeles area. In addition, he serves on the Harvey Milk Park Equality Plaza Selection Committee, the board of directors for the Historical Society of Long Beach, the Long Beach Q Film Festival Selection Committee. He's one of the founders of the Long Beach AIDS
So
Ride.
he's Mr.
Do you
Long
live
Beach,
in
is
Long
what
I
we
do live in Long Beach, yes.
So if I need real estate in Long Beach, you're going to hook me up.
Like you
'cause
know
let me
things
tell
I
you.
know
Long
everything
Beach.
there is to know.
When do you sleep?
people
I
used
love
to
Long
call me-
Beach. Long Beach
people-
is gorgeous.
People used to
I
call me
think
the
if I
gay mayor
retired-
of Long Beach until they actually elected a gay mayor.
Yeah.
So now
Wow.
now they call me the mayor of gay Long Beach.
So we were talking about this a little bit before the show, and I want to get back into it.
Yeah.
You have literally been part of interviews of every celebrity. In fact, one of my favorite interviews at the Comic-Con was, of course, Jamie Lee Curtis. Did you guys
I
see
love
Jamie
that.
Lee Curtis? I think it was on. It wasn't extra.
Talking
It
about
was
the new Halloween?
Entertainment Tonight. Yeah, but the interviewer asked her, "Oh, do people in hockey masks come up and scare you?" And she was like, "That's a different movie. That's Friday the 13th. That's not Halloween." And she just looked at him
my
like,
God.
but we were talking about this red carpet faux pas. Now, here's my defense, because I used to do red carpets. I don't enjoy them because I like this, where we
Yeah.
can actually talk and I don't have to be
Right.
PC. And you get information being fed through your ear. You're given a 50-page press thing, about 2 pages actually show up. So it's impossible to learn everybody's name with the face, with proper, like Nikou, like how many times have I asked you about that? But it's impossible
It's
to
Greek.
know all of the projects. But you guys were like, no, it's your job and it's professional to know what you're talking about. What are some of the key factors to doing a stellar celebrity interview?
Well, I think if you're going to a red carpet of an event, whatever the event is, if it's a charity event, just have one good soundbite about the event or the charity or something. As long as you give them one good soundbite, then they can ask you anything, and they generally do. A lot of the big shows like the Entertainment Tonight and the Access Hollywoods, they don't really want that soundbite. They want all of the dirty
juice.
stuff, right?
Yeah.
And they're really not there to cover the event. They're there to get reaction of the latest celebrity news from you and you and you, and then tag it as, well, we were at this event and celebrities, chimed in on X, Y, and Z or whatever. But I always think that if you're going to an event to support a charity, just think about it for 5 minutes while you're in the car going to the event.
Definitely.
One good soundbite about what they do. Research it for 5 minutes on your phone while you're waiting in the queue line to get out of your limo or something.
Right.
Just
For sure.
just something that you can give back. And I've asked people. I've been on a million press lines and interviewed celebrities, and they have no idea why they're there. And it drives me crazy.
So one of my friends, I won't say who, is a part of the American Horror Story family, which could be so many seasons now, so you don't know who I'm talking about, went to an event. It was for MS. She did the whole orange carpet thinking it was for Ms. Magazine.
Oh no.
And she was like, I'm so excited to be here, and
bit
it's so
off.
much fun and all that. And
Oh my God. Oh my
but
God.
why didn't her press person say, hello, idiot? I mean,
Nobody on the carpet.
do you know how embarrassed she was when she found out that it was for MS, not Ms. Magazine? Number one, Ms. Magazine's not around
not even
anymore.
around
but
anymore, probably. But
But I mean, when you say that nobody told her, like, I feel like every time you and I go on a carpet, we're informing the people that are interviewing us. They don't ever know what seems to be happening, and you and I have all this. We do the homework because we feel like we need to,
Yeah.
but then they're like standing there like deer in headlights, and we're like, yeah, so we're gonna tell you about this then because they don't seem to be informed.
So
which
that's
is
on the
crazy.
flip side. So what are the
That
key factors of asking celebrity questions?
well, if you're covering, you should know what you're covering.
But
Yeah.
you can't possibly learn 50 names and projects and pronunciations.
It is difficult.
You
I mean,
just can't.
it is difficult. I've been in that position where you've got a face sheet of 50 celebrities that are coming, and you're trying to find something unique to ask them about, what's your latest project or what you're doing or this or whatever. And I have been caught up by saying, what are you working on now? And it's just like, the hottest show on television. And like, oh, duh. So yeah, it's happened to me as well. You just have to do your best. I do think that, research is your friend, and a good reporter is going to do research. On the bigger shows or on some of these other shows, the producer or the field person, is handed this stuff on the way out the door. So it's like, here's what you're covering. Here are 10 questions. Here are people you might be interviewing. And, and they've just seen it 5 minutes before they hit the red carpet. So they're sitting there going through this.
Okay, I've been in that position. I'm like, I'm going to do what I do.
It does happen.
Okay, so that makes sense.
I mean, it is really impossible. Plus, I miss the old days of red carpet. I'm sorry to any of my friends that are involved and directly involved with the red carpet interviews for Golden Globes, Emmys, and any of the other award shows. They have become so boring, I have stopped watching them. Those used to be the most fun part because, like, when Joan Rivers was there and people had an opinion and they would joke with the celebrities.
So
you don't want to see your
reserved.
celebrity like this. You want to have fun, but we're in such a PC era, which I get. I'm not saying that we shouldn't be. We should be more careful of what we're saying, but we're all people here and have some fun.
Natural.
I miss personality and
just
red
being
carpet
honest,
interviews.
you know,
Yeah. I want them to bring me back as the new Joan
Can I
Rivers.
say something,
Right.
Alexander? I was telling somebody that we were coming on your show, and I was like, so, yeah, we drink vodka, and he's like, there seems to be a theme with your guys' entertainment. Like, we're just...
Well, the night that we spent at the Abbey. Oh, my God, you guys.
I mean, it didn't stop there. I mean, we took over West Hollywood. I mean, I think our picture's up somewhere down there.
Our picture in my wallet.
Hi,
Tay-Tay.
Alexander's wallet got stolen.
And I felt so bad because the bill was so high.
Oh, my God.
No, we were treating.
we were treating. Yeah, that was neither
Because
here
you know
nor
when you're
there.
on a date and they lose their wallet? Well,
my God.
I mean,
This was-
He was our guest.
Oh,
on
my
the
gosh.
show.
But it was
Thank you.
so, it was
was
such a
fun.
hot mess. Oh.
yeah.
I can throw one other thing about the red carpet,
Yeah.
which is bothering me, is the whole what are you wearing and who are you wearing
Who
thing.
cares
I
what you're wearing?
think it's so
Because do we know? Like,
demeaning.
yeah, I'm like,
It
oh,
must
let
be-
me go. Let me go get that.
And it's become such.
It must be difficult in that realm to interview celebrities because they've had the same question a million times.
Well, see, that's just it. That's what I love about this show. We get to see you guys in a whole different light. Your fans are never going to see you like be this, the real person, you know?
Right.
And it's become such a business. I worked with Melissa Leo the year right before when she was nominated, and we had worked together on something right before she was ready to hit the red carpet for the Oscars. And I said to her, so have you picked out what you're wearing? And she's just like, you have no idea how horrible this is.
Oh, no.
I've been given 3 choices by my stylist.
Yeah.
Because they have deals with certain
course.
designers.
It's
So you're either wearing this,
And there might be
you're wearing
3
this,
things she doesn't
you're
want to wear.
Right,
Like,
exactly.
I hate all of it, but I have to
Exactly.
wear it because this is a big
Really?
event. Yeah.
Or, hi, I just did this Academy Best Picture nominated film, and you're going to ask me about my dress?
How is
Right.
my
Yeah.
performance
Right.
that's
Yeah.
basically making the world go like, wow, and
Yeah.
you want to know if I'm wearing like,
What was your acting
a
approach? What was
brassiere.
the shooting schedule like? What was
Right,
Or
right.
what
the
is your
content,
message
what
with
is the
your
feeling?
film?
The
Yeah.
message.
What are you wearing?
Yes.
Message.
And it's all about the plug. It's like, can you say that?
Plug
the name
who's
of, right?
who's
Can
dressing.
You, can you
Jewelry,
say
what
Ka-ching,
the
jewelry
ka-ching,
you're
designer's
wearing.
name on
Yeah,
Entertainment Tonight,
exactly.
Access Hollywood, and Extra? Can you get that out?
Come on, Hollywood. We want to hear
better
about
than
the
this.
celebrities. We'll have
We
some
are better than
personality. Speaking of personality, let me introduce the rest of our panel officially, since we're talking so much.
An hour in?
Are we done?
We're gonna be here at midnight, like being like,
Roll
can someone
credits.
pick up them off the floor?
We're going to be
Where'd
there
that
when
bottle of
Lacey
vodka
wakes
go?
up.
I was just going to say, Lacey's going to call back.
Lacey's gonna
immediately
go,
on set.
Brennan, are you okay?
Drink. Somebody
You're like,
said.
are
You just got
You're still there?
Alexander.
Yeah, and you're
What
like,
up,
have fun
Lacey?
with Brendan.
He never went to bed.
No,
No.
listen. I told her. I said you're working with a guy named Brendan Penny. He's a great guy, great actor, nothing. But I always make a joke like, my name's Brennan.
Yeah.
And anybody that used to say D, I just wouldn't listen to him.
Ooh.
If you just go Brendan, this is when I was a kid, right? Brendan, like, you know. And so I always call her and I go, so you're working with that guy with a D in his name? It's not gonna work out. It's not gonna work out. As a joke, obviously.
Yeah.
He's great. He's a wonderful guy.
Yeah, but you have another franchise.
But he's got a D in his name.
Yeah.
Well, you know, whatever you're gonna do.
Never say no to the D. LA Happy web series host.
Glad you said
mean
it.
Ginger?
Wow.
Wait.
I just got that.
Brendan,
I
you said
just
it
got
5 times.
I know, but I just got it though.
My viewers
guys.
are like,
He was talking about Detroit, guys. Calm down. He was talking about Detroit.
One I want, one I never want. LA Happy web series hosts Pilar Holland and Katina Nikou taste their way through LA County and review what each restaurant has to offer during the happiest hours of the day. Their exploration includes something for everyone. No location or taste bud is left behind. Currently streaming on S'mores TV and YouTube with over 250,000
What's your favorite
views.
restaurant right now? Give me a restaurant that
Hyperion Public.
Where's that?
Silver Lake.
They have one in Studio City as well, but Silver
Hyperion
Lake.
Public?
Yeah, their happy hour is ridiculous.
They have these
blueberry wings. Go for the
Blueberry
blueberry
wings?
Exactly.
That sounds horrific.
No, I know.
It does.
Alexander.
And they were delish.
Almost as bad as black cherry vodka.
Yeah.
Caffeine-free, sugar-free, calorie-free.
When did black cherry vodka?
When did that become a thing? Black cherry vodka.
Tonight.
Oh my God.
Katina Nikou is
If I
an
only knew this is what I was getting into, you know what I mean? But
Katina
I love it even more.
It's fabulous. Katina is an actress, writer, producer with an extensive comedy background. She's been featured on hilarious websites such as Funny or Die and Comedy Cake for her work as an actress and content creator. She was recently credited for the CWC, a pilot she co-wrote titled Cupid's Match, which received over 126 million views worldwide.
Congrats.
And entertainment, she's currently
Come on, guys,
shopping
pick it
her
up.
thriller, The Wish.
Guys, anybody want takers on the Wish?
Yes, I have a few wishes for
And
tonight.
also, CW needs to pick up that pilot.
Yes.
Yeah, that was good.
We have some CW actors coming our way, by the way, in November, so stay tuned. Pilar Holland is an actor, producer, and content creator. She has 2 movies coming out next year, Adam McKay's Vice, starring Christian Bale and Steve Carell.
December.
Wow.
December.
Nice. Oh, it's coming up.
Yeah,
You'll have to come back.
They moved it up.
And Noah Baumbach's new feature starring Adam Driver and Scarlett Johansson.
Wow, that's serious.
And of course, you have seen Pilar in 911 on Fox, Grey's Anatomy, NCIS, Criminal Minds, Scandal, and Scorpion.
Pretty much
Welcome,
everything.
ladies.
Pretty
Yes.
much everything.
A lot.
Also joining us,
Yeah, kind of a lot of stuff, a lot of stuff.
we've
been
enjoyed
around.
his voice and we've enjoyed his looks tonight. Brennan Elliott has been an established professional
This
working
is
actor.
the most attention I've got in my whole career.
Oh,
I'm never leaving here ever again. Why do I sound like I'm on some welcome to the Love Chat on CCC
Exactly.
Now
Radio.
he's like right next to
Love
the
lines.
microphone. He's
Oh.
like-
You tell me
Love
like
lines.
I'm like laying out here.
I want him to do my voicemail. You've reached the office, huh?
Can I get a voiceover agent so I can make some money?
There you go.
I tried that for a bit.
Yeah, didn't work out for me either.
It's a lot of work.
Brennan has over 160 credits to his name. He has been described
Woo!
not
Is that
only
it? I
as
thought
a
it
leading
was-
man.
160.
I thought it was more, but I guess not.
Check your IMDb page.
Yeah.
I should, but
Ron,
you know it already, Ron.
fact
Ron's
that.
on it. He's on it.
He has shown incredible versatility in reoccurring roles on television, such as Cold Case, The 4400, What About Brian, and CSI, to name a few.
I'm the other lead actor that, there's the pretty lead actors. I always say I'm the other Hallmark actor. No, seriously, because
You guys, there's actually an Instagram called Hallmark Hunks.
Hunks,
Did you know
yes.
that? Yeah.
But if you look at it, it's an ongoing joke.
There's
but-
something for everybody.
For everybody, yeah,
Yes.
for-
Of course, we love him from Hallmark Channel's All of My Heart franchise, opposite Lacey Chabert, who we talked to.
Lacey, oh, drink.
Lazy drink.
Lacey.
He'll never work with me ever again.
He can currently be seen starring in Unreal, originally launched on Lifetime,
Graham.
now on Hulu.
Tina loves
Graham.
him.
I'm a huge
And it's so much fun.
Unreal
Plus, there's
fan.
eye candy for everybody. in
I
that.
do miss Graham, and yet, there's a lot of eye candy for you guys.
No, yeah, there is.
Trust me.
And I used to be the banker for one of the other actors.
You
there.
just lost your
Ooh.
mind.
No way.
Alexander just lost his mind.
Citibank is like
It's
giving
like-
you some money for even like
all the
dropping-
plugs.
Can I get a better interest rate at Citibank
Yeah.
on the show?
Nobody's getting interest anymore. Also, he was part of Night at the Museum, one of my favorites, Secret of the Tomb, and the male lead in one of my, and I, no offense, but I totally forgot that you were in this film until I revisited, which of course, The Curse of Chucky,
Oh, yeah,
which
that's
we're going to talk about that because that was one of your more difficult roles, right?
It was not easy. Yeah, it
Yeah.
was not easy because I worked with about 15 guys working with a doll, and that doll is an icon, and so working in those scenes, you have to do whatever the doll wants, and I had 3, 4, 5-page scenes with a doll, and so
Yeah.
it was tough.
Well, and we're
But
going
it
to talk
was
about
also
that
a franchise
because
that I'd never done before, and I was just like, okay.
well, and a franchise. Talk about Hallmark. Their franchise followers are very intense. Well, so is horror film franchises are very intense.
And that was really, I think, one of my only horror movie I'd done.
Yeah,
I think.
it was. Yeah.
Yeah, and I remember they did so well, and
Well, and because I know, I mean, you've been trained at Juilliard. You have this intense actor training, the actor studio. And so then you're like, okay, I'm going to work with a doll in this horror franchise. And, I mean, your scenes obviously have to be real because what differentiates a good horror film scene is the reality in acting. You know, that's why I can't stand the Conjuring franchise movies after the first one, because they're all like, oh, you know, it's like they don't even have to try.
Do you like
It's
the first one?
I love the first one. I thought it was smart. I thought the script was good, and the acting was 110%. They weren't playing it like a horror film, which is what all the other
That's
Conjuring
important.
franchise films are doing now. It's like,
agree.
we're being horror film. No.
No.
Well,
That's the
Curse of
worst.
Chucky to me was a family movie. In its context, I mean, it's about a husband and wife that were not getting along and they're raising their kid and everything else. So I didn't put any investment into the fact that it was about a doll.
Interesting.
I made it about the fact that I've
You
lost
made
my
it
job.
I
and
like
wanted to
that.
make it all
Yeah.
That is
real.
the
So
Because
that
a lot
when
of
so
a lot
when-
of actors will play the idea of, you
and
know,
in that context, the idea is so grand because Don Mancini, who created, is a wonderful guy, and obviously Chucky is this huge, iconic kind of horrific character that you can't shy away from it. It's a shadow on you, no matter what performance you're doing.
I wrote about Don last week because, MGM is rebooting
doing
Chucky,
another one.
and it's not his version at all. And I don't know if you've seen some of the images. And so he posted on his Instagram, he posted a picture of Mariah with a meme of her holding up a sign that's saying, "I don't know her."
I will
was
say,
some shady.
Don and I are fairly good friends, and I haven't seen him in a little bit, but he's a wonderful, wonderful, brilliant man. And I could only think that he's, this is his baby. He created the whole thing, and I think maybe he's kind of feeling a little bit like his hands are tied. And so blessings to him. So,
Well, there's one thing when a reboot plays homage to something, and then when something when it's just like totally does away with the original intent. And the Chucky films have some substance to them. And there's a lot of love with that doll.
the one that we did
but
was
even
a
though
real step away from the originals. The first five or six had a bit of campiness. They were kind of funny.
Yeah.
Ours, it was kind of more of like a slap in the mouth. Be real, all about a daughter and a doll, and all about a family, and be authentic, which made it interesting. So when I was offered, I was like, I don't know if I want to do that, because I didn't want it to be campy.
Yeah.
And Don was like, this is not going to be campy. It's going to be real and organic, and it's going to be about.
So he convinced you to be part
Well,
of the...
I wanted to be a part of it because I wanted to be a part of it, and obviously I knew it, and I screen tested with the girl that played my wife, and I knew her at the time because we're the same manager, and so I was interested, but I just didn't want it to be. I mean, it was the 7th or 6th movie,
Yeah.
I mean,
You're like, oh. No.
much like Night of the Museum, it was the 3rd. Like, you want it to be still its own entity, which is one of the things about Hallmark, which is great because every movie is its own movie.
Right.
I didn't want it to be just kind of some byproduct of some, and neither did Dawn. And we made it into its own little entity. It could stand alone by itself, whether you like it or don't like it, but it's its own movie. And I found that interesting. And I was
like
playing kind of this kind of father who lost everything and couldn't get. This was back in the day when the economy hit the skids and real estate market was bad. And I thought, well, this is interesting. So it was really kind of more of an honest, heartfelt thing. And I thought, okay, cool. And it turned out great. It did really, really well. But the star is obviously Chucky. Let's just be very honest here.
But let's talk about some of your other co-stars from Hallmark. Of course, Andy McDowell, Brooke Shields, and of course Lacey. I mean,
Drink!
these are great.
I'm sorry.
Lacey, sorry, we're getting really, really hammered to you.
Oh my God.
And of course,
To
your
you.
new franchise, the crossword
Mysteries, yeah, we're
Mysteries,
really excited
yeah.
about it. Yeah, it's kind of a heart-to-heart meets moonlighting.
Have you
Love
said
it.
no to anything?
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
okay.
That's
Yeah.
a good question. Yeah.
I used to say
I'm
no
sure
a
as a
lot.
guy, as a girl, I'm like, no, I'm not going to show
So
my
I'm
breasts with
co-hosting.
tentacles coming out of it. No, thank you. But,
Okay, I want to watch. Can I watch that movie? No tentacles. No, I mean,
when you're a working actor with a family and two kids, like
yeah, I mean, I got two little babies, so
Yeah.
when they were born, I kind of went, you know what? My ego pushed it aside. I mean, unless it's something. I mean, I've been offered some stuff, and I'm like, look, listen, no disrespect, but I don't really say no unless it's something that I'm just can't.
You're just
My
not
whole
feeling,
thing. Here's
yeah.
my barometer. If I read something and I can connect to it emotionally on some level, then I'm fine. But if I'm reading something, I'm going, like, I can't, because I'm not going to help the production, the producers, the director, anybody if I can't connect to the material. So. But yeah, when I was younger and I had maybe a bigger ego, and I thought, well, I've done all this theater and I was on Broadway, and I get like, I should have my own show. I'm not going to do a recur. I don't do that anymore. I got kids. I got kids to feed. So,
Have
but
you
I mean, if I like the content, I'll do it.
Have you said no to something and then seen someone else do it and think, why did I say no to that?
Oh, that's a good question.
Yeah. I've had I won't say, I can't say who they are, but I've had two. I've had a movie, and a big movie, which I'll live till I'm dead, regretting. And I've had two TV series where I said, I don't want to do that. And it went off to, which would have probably changed my career. But,
it's such a weird gamble.
But it wasn't a question of the material's bad, or it
Timing.
was
Just wasn't
kinda-
right
it was
for you.
timing,
Just-
and I
and it
didn't
wasn't
feel.
right for you.
One of the
Right.
things I was feeling really insecure. I thought I can't do this role. I'm too young.
Oh, okay.
Because I had done some stuff where I felt I wasn't really ready. And I really was, but I think it was just overwhelmed with the material at the time. This was like 15, 20 years ago almost. And then I had a couple other shows that I was in the mix for some other stuff, and I thought, I'm going to get this, and I didn't get that, and then that went away, and then I realized, it lasted for 10 years, and I went, wow, okay.
That would have been.
There goes those 3 houses in Palace Road.
Yes,
But I mean,
exactly,
like,
right.
you can't, if you're a true artist, you can't, you can't just second guess. You got to go with your gut. And I've always
Yes, you
been
do.
thankful that I at least go with my gut,
Is there an actor that you always lose? Not always, but when you lose out to him because you guys.
No,
are
because
so,
it's funny. It's really interesting. Like,
Sorry, take it over.
No,
Go.
no, it's
no, I don't think so. Like, I mean, there's a certain amount of guys that I've kind of
you're on
stereotypically
the
would
same.
read
Read with
whatever.
Right. And
But
when
I
you see
mean-
them in the room, you're like, oh shit, I'm done.
No, I've never. I don't think anybody should ever be competitive because their personal experience they're bringing to the role is different than yours, and everybody's different, and whether it matches, it matches. I mean, I've never really had anybody that I felt like, okay, well, that's the guy. I'm going to lose out to this guy again. I don't really think about it that way. I make my
Good.
choice. I'm playing this role, and this is what he's feeling, and this is what his needs are, and this is what the scene's about. I just make my choice. If you like it, great. If you don't, fine.
Right.
I want to talk about your guys' acting approach because you have had major roles in projects and then you've been guest spots in some where you have like a
Right.
few lines here and you're part of a franchise that's been around for years and years and years. And I know you all come from a certain acting school and a certain style. So how do you approach it when you're like, okay, I'm the lead and it's Lacey and me in every single scene, or I'm in Flight 93, which is such a punch to the gut, by the way. I revisited
Yeah.
that film. That was an amazing revisit. If
13
you haven't
years
seen
ago.
it, I can't believe it's been that long.
It's amazing. 13 years ago.
And it's a great film. It's emotional, and I'm not an emotional person.
What was it, 7 Emmy nominations? I mean, it did really, really well.
Yeah.
But it was a bore to do.
Wow.
It was a bore.
It was a bore.
It was not boring. It was just like going into an arena with like a heavyweight champ. I mean, we had like I think I
can't
had
even
6
imagine.
days to prepare for one of the most iconic 9/11 survivors, or not survivors, but
Stories. Yeah.
my first scene was the prayer on the phone.
That was your first
Like
scene?
the first or second scene
Well,
that day.
because
And I was just like, I was so.
Are you kidding?
No, I was so scared to do
This,
it.
like,
but so
ends
was
the
he,
whole film. Yeah.
My training comes from everything's got to be made personal. So I was just like, how do you make personal? You're going to die on a plane, So it was. I wanted to have some time to prepare that, but you didn't have it. And much like even on Hallmark,
how much time would you have liked to prepare something like that?
I would have liked. I would have liked to have met his wife and done. You want to do the best job you can.
This
on
is a
any
monumental
job.
piece of history. It's not.
We
like
had
you're
we had
just-
government officials on set. We had the box in the plane.
Yeah,
The black box.
We had
yeah.
transcripts that we were only allowed to use, and some of it wasn't real. And we had it was really intense. And I was just
Are you
like,
happy with what?
I mean, we're never happy with what you're always looking, going, I could have done. I
Could've
was
done more.
actually in the end I was like, okay, I transformed physically,
'Cause
emotionally.
we're given
and I was-
limited time
Yeah.
for everything.
And I
You
mean,
have to-
6 days. No, I was probably given with rehearsals in kind of 8 days, and I really wanted to kind of go there and be truthful because Todd Beamer is he's a very special human being as far as Americans are concerned. For anybody who has to survive that kind of terrorist attack, and so we called her wife, and I had a publicist at the time. I don't have any longer that really helped me out getting connected with certain people. And then we met Peter Mark was the director. He was a wonderful guy, and the cast was great. Jeffrey Norling was on it, who's done so much stuff. And I just remember I was telling your mom before we got on that we would finish a day and we'd go back to the Sutton Place Hotel, and there was a guy on that show, which will remain nameless, who was sober for 12 years, and by third or fourth day of shooting that show was like because we were in a fuselage which only was
I was going to
about
say, not only
60 feet
Yeah.
long. and
Yeah,
you were
I can't even
there
imagine.
17 hours a day, and you really kind of got into the emotional.
The
If you were
mindset.
allowing but some actors didn't, but I mean, as an actor, you want
wanna
to
go
if you're
there.
playing somebody
Right.
that's you want to really make it real. I mean, one of the things I try to pride myself on is just making something look like it's not acting, look like it's honest. And to do that, it's
living it.
very hard. Like fans watch Hallmark, like, oh, it looks like you're just playing yourself. Well, there's a lot of work that goes into playing.
because you're
yourself.
considered like
Yeah,
a natural
exactly.
actor, where people say that
Well, it's really natural. It doesn't look like you're acting, but I mean, I have to work my bag off to get to that point, much like any actor. And I have actors that I'm very, very. Ray Winston is one of my. I mean, I'm a big fan of Ray Winston.
Yeah.
actors that don't look like they're acting. They do a lot of work to get to that point, whether it's emotional, whether it's, sense memory, affective memory, all the stuff we hear, but there's a lot of work that goes into it. And so
what do you guys do when you approach something where you have like maybe 4 lines in like a CSI or in this huge franchise piece? You can't really approach it with that same weight, but you have to bring that moment to whatever your brief.
There's no small roles, only small actors.
I would say
Right.
I still do the work, even though.
Can you pass the vodka, by the way?
Oh.
What a great segue.
What he was saying. There's no small roles.
And I started my very, very first job was a DeVry Institute kind of like thing about the end of the world. I think I had like a monologue or whatever. But I mean, even like with Graham and all in Unreal. I mean, when Graham, I was driving, this is a true story, I was driving from Vancouver after doing a show with Annie McDowell.
Yeah.
And I was driving.
You know how we do. Just name drop.
No, and I love Annie. And it was Cedar Cove, and it was on Hallmark. And I was driving, and I was at a Red Lion Hotel in Oregon. And I was sitting in my room and had a couple of drinks. I was watching a movie, and I got a call to do this thing called Unreal, and they said, and I had no name. It was just host. And I went, well, no. Okay. I thought it was a reality show. And I was like, no, I'm not doing that. And then I'm driving.
Scripted very well that it
No, I hadn't read the script.
I
And
know,
then I
seriously.
drove, and I ended up at like a Subway, I think, and I was having lunch, and I read the script. And I thought, this is either one of the most brilliant things I've ever read, or it's going to be, it's going to be terrible.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
So I had 5 or 6 lines. I was introducing the first girl, and that was it. And I thought, so I said no again. I think I said no about 7 or 8 times. But
Are you kidding?
I swear to God. And my agent at the time had called me, who I'm no longer in business with, but she said, I think you need to read the script again because they're going to develop this character, and I think you need to take this a little serious. And they were shooting in 2 days, and I had read it again, and I said, and the producer had called me and said, this is what we want to do with the character and make him kind of more the foil for, and I thought it might be fun. And it ended up turning into something. Whereas the 4th season, I'm really, have you seen the 4th season?
Oh my God,
Isn't
yeah.
it great?
It's so
That's
good.
what I wanted in the first, but it's not my show, and I mean, I'm
Didn't
just
you
being
say
selfish.
that he's your favorite character?
I mean, I was pretty jazzed
I've
that
had-
Bram was on
Oh,
the show.
I love you. I love you. I love
mean,
you. Where's your next stand-up? I'm going to be there. I'm buying drinks for the bar. And I've had that. It's become a bit of a cult thing. And I never could get comedy before that. I wouldn't get comedic roles. They were like, well, he's more of a leading man. I wanted to do comedy. And now I can't get out of doing comedy. Now I can't get a leading role. It's all comedy stuff.
Isn't that funny about being kind of pigeonholed into what you do well because it's so easy? Like people say to me, like, "Oh, can you be the loud, funny gay guy?" I'm like, "I want to do a drama."
But they're not really
Totally.
creative. The people that make the decisions aren't, I think, the most.
Well, because they're on a time schedule. They want what they know works after
they're like,
30
"Oh,
takes, after
we
the
love
first
her,
take.
we love her in this, and then that's
Yeah.
all they think. We love him in that. We love you in this. They don't go, we love that person, him or her in that, because they're good at what they're doing, and they could play that. And things go so fast. And to their defense, things go really, really quickly.
I want to take a little blast from the past. I want to look at one of your scenes from Strong Medicine. And Pilar, I want you to comment on this from your scene.
This is like when I couldn't even walk and talk in a straight line.
No, see, but this is what I want to know. This always fascinates me.
Jeez, this is
Go ahead,
2000.
Kurt.
Oh, God.
I'm like, count
Oh, my
1,
God.
2.
Where's that bottle of vodka?
Make a couple lines, large bore IV with ringers wide open.
Your son's hurting you right now.
People's equal and responsive.
You don't age, by the way. I think.
Find out as soon as we take care of you, okay? He wasn't doing nothing. Just walking. Exit wound's clean, not much blood loss. I can't feel my legs.
God, this is hard to
Push
watch.
against my hand with your right foot, hard as you can. Car pulled up. Guy leans out and says, "Where you from?" Left foot, push. All right, call neurostat. No sensory or motor function below the waist. I said, "We ain't banging." He goes, "Then why you doing sign?"
I haven't seen this like
Doing everything we can, okay?
All right, Kurt. But a scene like that.
Turn that off, Kurt. Turn it off.
But with your extensive, in-depth acting training, when you're in this, and Pilar, I think I asked you this.
That's okay. My mom was an RN, so and we had a tech advisor that was an RN.
But I was going to say, you have to act, but then you have all of this. It's like if you're on a big budget explosion film, you get the line wrong, they have to reset everything. And not only is it about your acting performance, but then because of the situation in the fast, if that guest star is not on point, it is awful, especially in a show like that. Do you know what I mean? And so you have to work your acting craft, but then you have to learn like the medical jargon, then you have to learn your blocking, and all of this is playing, plus the cameras are like in your face.
I have cast director friends that say, the medical jargon, you have no idea how hard it is for people to speak.
I wouldn't be able to.
Sure.
Roles
Yeah,
I
believe
hate
it.
the
I
most.
totally believe it.
Doctors, lawyers. Those are roles where, and also detectives.
But you can
now that
pause
I've
a
done,
little bit and be like dramatic.
No, but I mean, you have to dictate the case, whether it's
Yeah.
a medical case, whether it's
I do
a
really
murder.
good.
You know what I mean?
I
Like you
really
have to
good- I have really
talk,
good
and
diction.
sometimes.
She does really do
And that's
that.
one of the things. You know, I don't. But that's one of the things about Graham that worried me was that I had these long monologues
You
that
do,
end
yeah.
up in these little squares, and you shoot 3, 4, 5 pages, and then you see some of it, and you see it on the little screen. Well, that's hard to do. Now, as a host, you have more life. You can kind of be more gregarious. This stuff, it's tougher, you know. And he has to sell that scene because he's the guy that's going through the trauma. And so that was in 2000, and I think 2. It was our second season, and it was actually pretty good, if I don't recall. But I mean, we had a tech advisor, and you have to do research, and a lot of medical research is not heartfelt; it's business. And when you're an actor or an actress, you come from a place of making everything connected through emotion and needs, and so it's a little more. It's more. I have all the respect on Grey's Anatomy and all these shows because a lot of their jargon is spewing the case, and it's
And
tough.
they have real surgeons come in.
Oh,
and show you.
totally.
Yeah.
I mean, we had I can't remember her name, but she
and they
would
don't have
come
the
in
best
and teach
personality
me.
sometimes.
No, I started as
She's
the
a little- she's
I
a
started
little
on
strict,
Strong
yeah.
Medicine doing 3 episodes as a love interest for Janine Turner as her intern.
Yeah,
and then she left the show, and now I'm a doctor. So this was like my 4th episode in season 2, where now I'm an ER doctor. Well, that takes about 12 years of training in real life.
Exactly.
So I would get dialogue, but it was great for me coming out of theater school and moving to Los Angeles and being able to like learn your craft and mess up and fall on your face and be good, be bad. You know, it was great. It was great.
And talking about partnerships with your co-stars, I mean, your chemistry with everybody that you have acted with, especially on Hallmark Channel, I mean, you just have this natural chemistry. I want to talk about you guys and LA Happy. You guys obviously met by working at Villa Blanca. But I want to know how you balance having a co-host with this project, because LA Happy, you guys produce it yourself, you guys edit it, you guys film it, you guys do everything. And we're going to take a little sneak peek. But how do you work that out when you are working with somebody on your partner projects, but then you also have your side career going? How do you effectively work that without... And I don't mean this in a negative way, but we all have egos, and we all were like, you know, I have this opportunity, but you guys also have obligation as partners. How do you work on that? Do you guys communicate that out?
You know what's amazing about Katina and I?
Go for it. I already know what you're going to say.
Not a lot of people have the same work mentality as we do. So it was interesting because she had a bunch of projects before, and I was trying to. We just finally came together on this project, and we both have the same tenacity and drive and dedication and commitment, and the fact that we love each other, and the fact that we have learned how to communicate with each other on a level with respect and love.
That's so hard in this industry,
so much
you guys.
Is there a competition?
It really is.
Like, is there any
No,
competition? No, it's
I mean,
because
we're-
it's a respectful thing to
Yeah,
each other,
absolutely.
Or is
like-
it healthy competition? There's nothing wrong with
There's
healthy
no,
competition.
there's no competition.
Yeah.
Like I
We
just
get little
wrote,
bumps, but we communicate. Like we
yeah. That's
great.
talk
That's great.
through it.
and like I just have this thriller, The Wish, that I wrote, and I was pitching it to somebody the other day and saying like I want her as the lead. Like we fight for each other.
And I
Like,
have a short that I'm producing where she's coming to the table as a producer and a writer as well.
Yeah, so she negotiated that. Yeah, so we're in it to help each other.
You're
for
in
sure.
it to win it together. It's
How
great.
did you land on happy hour? Like, you could have done brunch, you could have done lunch, you could have done it, but
I know
happy
we
hour.
would
Like,
think about doing a brunch.
That just
but-
brings people to the table,
well,
doesn't it?
As I was watching it, I'm like,
Brunch
this
is more
kinda
female-driven,
Well,
I
it's like
think,
this is
maybe.
kind of
Yeah.
brilliant.
Interesting.
This is kind of brilliant.
Yeah.
because
Happy hour,
It is
yeah.
brilliant.
It's
Happy
bi-
hour is pretty
It
brilliant.
is brilliant.
It
It
is.
is
It
brilliant.
is.
If you don't,
It
you
is
know.
brilliant.
It is brilliant. But here's my problem.
Yeah.
Do you eat enough at happy hour not to have dinner?
It depends.
Or
Some places we
do
do,
you-
some
Some
places we don't.
Yeah.
It's LA,
the other
nobody
day-
eats
He's
dinner.
about no one eats.
But like the other
We
day,
closet eat. We
If
go
you
home
saw
and
those
order
nachos-
Domino's.
Yeah,
nachos
with
and-
Alexander, we definitely ate enough. But the other place we just went to, we both the next day met up and we're like, "Did
I
you
was like,
eat after?"
I went to Taco Bell on the way home. She's like, I wanted
I've had those situations. You go to
Yeah.
happy hour and you're with friends, and you're like, okay, are we like eating, or are
or
we just
like-
like nibbling and going somewhere?
That's interesting. We should maybe say that.
Right,
Maybe-
yeah.
But there are
Definitely.
places
Because it
that
is-
feel
it's-
great and some that like, I'm still hungry.
I'm still hungry.
But
Maybe you
anyhow,
guys should
back
have
to,
like a
back to
rating.
happy hour. How did you end up on happy hour?
Well, I mean, we've been dying to work together for years because we're both, very invested in this industry, but we just, I don't know, we just kind of thought about this project and we're like, what do we love to do together? we find each other at happy hour, like, listen, talking about our talk about our career, our day. We meet other
When I
people.
walk into the Abbey and you guys have already been there, and one eye is open, and I'm like, okay, girls.
They've been here a long
Yeah,
time.
I mean, and we've been in the service industry. We just have a knowledge of food, and we're like, well, how can we incorporate this ridiculous amount of knowledge we have about food that we, and drinks that, was just paying the bills for years. So now we've merged these two
And
worlds.
drinks. Let's not forget the drinks.
You guys, let's take a sneak peek out of one of my favorite episodes of LA Happy.
Oh, Abby.
Hi, guys. You guys see?
Oh, Kurt, don't ruin my buzz, Kurt. What's happening?
I love the first thing out of their mouths.
Hi,
Hey
guys.
guys, it's happy hour.
Do you know what time it is?
It's the best time of the day.
Time for some cocktails and apps.
Where do we want to go? I want to see.
Do you know where we're
Where's
at?
Alexander?
Yeah, we're at the infamous Abbey
In West Hollywood. And we have a special guest joining us, Alexander Rodriguez.
Fast forward
I'll tell you guys
a little bit.
In similar
I
gear.
was going to say.
Black and red always.
You know what? You got to market. Got to market that. That's a
Oh,
whole.
we're already having a little bit too much to drink.
Yeah, you guys, I was still learning. I had
All right, so this
we
is a
keep
specialty made
growing.
for me.
We
It's
keep
called the
growing.
Alexander
See,
lemonade,
they
but
put the
it is
price
of the drink, so you know exactly what
know what
you're
you're
ordering.
getting.
Vodka is like my drink.
Oh, really?
So we know.
Vodka the whole time.
Yes, that's what we do.
All right, and Katina, what do you have?
I have the acai berry martini on the happy hour menu.
I have something tequila blackberry.
This was Tay-Tay just
Tay
made us,
Tay
like,
just made random drinks.
Yeah.
It was
We
hard.
yeah
It was
we
hard to
meet
get happy hour
bartender Tay
prices.
Tay later in the episode.
That's so fun.
Do you guys have? Are you guys engaging with fans during this time, or is it just kind of?
No, this is just us.
Well, no, there are episodes where we've taken shots with like fans or come up and talk to people.
Right.
I'll be honest. Like I don't do.
We always make friends
mojitos
with
or
our
anything
servers
like
and
that because of the
bartenders.
bits.
Yeah.
So there's like a lot of bits in here. So like you get a mouthful of bits.
I got a mouthful of bits, too. I like the bits. You like the rich.
I feel fancier just having this glass.
I am obsessed with it. Okay,
That was really strong.
Oh, this is my.
Okay. Such great
You guys
like
have to watch-
energy, personality,
You-
cohesive energy between the three of you. It's
And
great.
you feel like you're actually hanging out with you guys.
You
like
actually
I
feel
have
like
a
you're at
smile
the
on my
Abbey.
face, like
Yeah.
I'm in the
Yeah.
episode, but like because I'm
I know, right? When you watch it, you're like, oh, that was fun.
egotistical. No, but when I watch your other episodes, I smile and I feel like I'm hanging out with you afterwards. Like I feel
like you want to
good.
be
You
there
guys-
with them.
Yeah,
right?
and you guys do the really fun sound bites, the little like cut takes. It's
for
so
you
great,
guys.
and we get to, like I said, we get to see you guys in a whole different light. But I want to talk about something that we've all had to deal with, and that not to bring it down because we'll make fun of it, but like cyberbullying. You guys have had some trolls going on, and I know Brennan. I mean, your fans love you, but there's also the diehard Hallmark fans that like. I know the second film, like. You and Lacey were kind of having not you and Lacey. You in the film because you were back in New York.
So you just drink.
You were going back to Korea. You weren't spending time there, and so like fans really feel angry. Like they actually live with you and know you and can give
They
you
get
opinions.
I've never met fans that if you do something that they don't like, they'll let you know.
Right.
And usually 99% of the time they're right. Either the writing is wrong or we've shot it wrong or you know what that beat did.
That's interesting that you say sometimes we don't get it right.
Of course. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of times you don't get it right because you're trying, like I said earlier about Hallmark, I mean, they're trying to do, like, Flower Shop's a perfect example where Brooke and her husband, Chris Hemche, who does all the Will Ferrell movies and stuff,
Yeah.
they were trying to do something that was different. And we're trying to have, she wanted her character to kind of be like a modern day Lucille Ball in some ways and kind of be quirky and funny. And she's brilliant at that stuff, like Suddenly Susan. And the network really didn't want that. They wanted something more maybe straight-laced or something and maybe just this beautiful leading lady. And so you try to satisfy a network and still try to have some creative integrity, and sometimes you do well and sometimes you miss,
But sometimes we have to deal with ugly comments. And ladies, you were telling me something. I saw it on your YouTube channel. Briefly,
I've had those, trust me.
And so I want to talk about like how you deal with that and how it's hard not to take it personally because I'm a curvy girl, so I get the stupidest comments. I'm like, I'm hilarious. That's what my job is. I can give a crap. Colleen Barton says hi to you, Pilar, by the way.
Oh,
from the
Colleen!
chain.
Hi, Colleen! Oh, she's so sweet and supportive.
Hold on a second. We're on video?
Yeah.
I better bring my egg out. I completely
You guys, Lacey is watching still. She's like, I'm going to get her up early, but I'm watching.
No, she's in bed going, I will never work with him ever again.
Colleen and I are going to hang out.
But we've talked about women's equality in film and in entertainment, and it's so important. But talk about one of the stupid comments that you guys got because you guys have talked about it. It's still here. I saw it, and it's still with me, and it's so stupid. Do you guys mind sharing?
Katina.
So I actually posted about this, and not because I was mad. Well, yeah, okay. So I posted about it
You were
because
mad.
I was mad.
I try to. I tell her not to take it personally.
I don't take things personal. There's a lot of ignorant individuals out there that it's just like whatever.
Yeah.
However, this particular one they said our show is about two women who eat and drink like pigs.
What?
Who drink too much and eat like pigs.
So, and this is, oh God, I'm just so emotional about it because I think when you watch men do it, like, Guy Fieri or Adam Rickman, you're so comfortable with it. And then when we do it, you're so uncomfortable.
We're having happy hour too. It's like bites and
but-
like we talk about not
Like,
even
that's
being
what you're
filling or not.
reviewing.
Yeah.
But and I just
And there's A-list celebrities whose weight goes up and down, but they're men. We never comment. John Goodman, Jonah Hill.
Like you don't feel it,
Well-
and when you watch us do it, and that's
Yeah.
the goal. That's an underbelly of our show. We want to change that dynamic because we can go out and have fun and eat and drink and comment and do all these things that you're so comfortable watching men do, and so
Yeah, why not?
Can I bring
It's
up?
such a double
You're
standard.
just jealous. You're having
Go
a
ahead.
much better time
So
than they are.
one of the things that the whole point of the
Yeah.
show, and this has to
Jealousy.
bring
A lot
up.
of it comes from jealousy.
Well, but it's also like you guys, women, body issues, all of that stuff. Like Katina, she has this Be Real campaign and other things that's going on, and she's being interviewed with as well recently.
Huffington Post tomorrow interview.
Oh, are you serious?
I didn't want to
Let
drop
me
it.
know.
She dropped it.
I'll
She
share
dropped
it.
it.
Yeah.
But yeah, about the body issues that females we grow up with, and so the whole point, the fact that this and all of our trolls have been men.
Yeah, exactly.
Making comments about whatever we are, but just
Oh,
I'm asking, men.
I got scared. Hey, you leave me, Brennan. Don't leave me.
sorry, man.
No,
the white
No, I
man,
think
get
it's
out
terrible.
of here. No, I'm kidding.
It's terrible. It's terrible. I mean, I think.
Or that's what their profile says. So many people hide behind their social media
Absolutely.
profile. We don't know who we're talking to, and it's
Yeah.
such a false confidence. It's like, don't hide behind your keyboard. You want
Exactly.
something.
But the
to
point
say.
of the matter is that there hasn't been a show where females are actually out in the field just eating and trying and drinking
Right.
because we do enjoy. We don't need
We
to be.
do.
Females are
But
great.
what
There's a
man
lot of
doesn't
hosts.
want?
There's a lot
What
of
man
female
doesn't want to
chefs.
be with a woman
Woman
who's
who can
eating,
eat,
drinking,
enjoy,
being married, and
have
having
fun.
I don't
fun?
know, honey.
exactly-
Okay, because there are a lot of female food shows, but they're still all cooking in the kitchen for
No,
you.
I understand that,
Yeah.
and I
Exactly.
think
Good
that's
point.
wrong.
I've never thought about it that way, but
Yeah.
you're right. Guys want a girl. Or I'm
Right.
I'm
Well,
I'm
I was
stereotyping
going to
right
say the
now.
two gay guys.
No, but I
will
mean,
tell
I'm not
you
saying
what
guys want
want.
to. It's really refreshing to meet people that are like, ingratiating that kind of culture of going out, having a few drinks, eating a nice meal. To me,
We have so much.
I have fun whether it was dating or whether it's whatever. When you're with someone, you're having fun, having some food and drinks. I just,
Like I love the Marvelous Mrs. Maisel where they talk about how she used to eat back in the day when we first started dating, and now she, I don't know if you guys remember those episodes at all, but just how
now
food-
she eats salad and
Yeah.
starves herself to death. It's just ridiculous.
It puts you in a bad mood anyway.
Yeah.
But Brennan, how do you deal with some of these ugly comments that you might get? Because you have to be very careful that you're also representing Hallmark Channel.
Yeah, I mean, look, I've heard so much stuff over the years. To me, it's about the work, and I mean, if someone doesn't like the work, that's fine. But if someone doesn't think I'm tall enough or thin enough or good looking, I mean, I can't. I can't care. Honestly, it's like, look,
But it still
I
sticks
always
with you. Like,
when I was younger, it upset me
sticks.
because I thought, when I was younger, it was always like leading men have to look like this. You
Yeah.
gotta be sexy. You gotta be, whatever. Well, I used to be almost a semi-pro hockey player, so I'm not like going to be 140 pounds. I mean, I'm a regular, whatever. And I got to the point where it's exhausting, And there's guys on Hallmark that are ex-models and supermodels, and it's known for that kind of thing.
Right.
That's why I always say hashtag the other leading man. I just go, I'm the other
That's
guy,
funny.
which is my joke of saying I'm just kind of the, the ugly duckling. I'm being funny, and I'm being funny, but like, to me, we've talked about this on the show right now. There's no small role. Like, if I get a role where I'm playing a lead, I do my job, and some other guy who maybe is a supermodel or he's taller or he's thinner, whatever, he'll do it differently. I'll do my job and that's it. And if someone doesn't like it, I can't. And luckily, I've been thankful enough that I've been blessed to have fans that love what I've done, and that means a lot because I put a lot of work into it. But
Well-
I don't ever. I haven't. I've very few people have I gone to bed going, oh my God, this person thinks I'm terrible or whatever. Doesn't bother me.
It's just so unnecessary.
I've
and
seen-
it does play the next day on set. That comment is
You know what bothers me
back
the
on
most,
that.
Alexander, is when I hear about like certain casting directors or people in the business that go, well, you're doing a Hallmark movie and I'm casting huge, big feature, and it's got a stigma. And I go, you know what? My thing is this.
I want to talk about this if you don't mind.
I do
Please
too,
do,
actually.
because I
have a
think it's
girlfriend who's
wrong.
an actress who won't do Lifetime anymore, and I'm like,
I've seen people do like children's shows and do more brilliant work than people, and they can't get out of that kind of niche. My thing is
I
this.
love you talking about that because Pilar, what you said, I know so many actors are like, oh, it's on Hallmark. I'm like, yeah, everybody is now on Hallmark.
Right. In the
Danny
same way
Glover,
that
Faye Dunaway, everybody. But it's not even that. It's quality stuff. You're
I've
acting.
seen actors do
quality
better
work.
work on Hallmark a Lifetime. I mean, there's been some, like the girl that played Caitlin Fitzgerald on season 3, who was the lead on Unreal.
Oh my
She
God.
was fantastic.
I just got chills.
And a wonderful friend of mine, and she's a brilliant actress. She came from Master of Sex, and she's a great actress.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
she did Lifetime, and she was, maybe that, she never said that to me, but it's Lifetime. Lifetime's a network.
Yeah.
CBS is a network.
Well, and they used
Hallmark's
to
a
say
network.
the same thing. Movie actors should never do
Never do
TV.
TV.
Then we have
It's-
Jessica Lange, we have Glenn Close.
Well,
now we have
now
like,
we have
everybody.
Meryl Streep.
I was just going
Yeah.
to say that 10 years
Diane
ago.
Ladd is on Chesapeake
Right.
Shore. She's been nominated for like 3
I
Oscars.
love
10 years
Diane
ago, a movie actress would never do, or an actor would ever do streaming, or would ever do cable. Now it's just right part of their repertoire. Hopefully that will change.
I find it ironic though that here's a network that people go, well, it's the Christmas network or whatever, and you have 7-8 million people watching a movie. When you have CBS SWAT
And
getting 3 million.
sponsors know
Right,
that.
exactly.
And SWAT's a great show, and I have a
Right,
very
right,
good friend of
right.
mine on it. But the point is, you just want to have that equilibrium where it's about the work. Whether Pilar
Exactly.
does a show on SWAT or I do a show on some children's network, it should be about the quality of the work. It shouldn't be about, oh, it's Lifetime or it's, you know what I mean? It confuses me a lot of the time.
So has that kind of separated you now that you're a Hallmark hunk and you're doing a new
Not really.
franchise and all that?
No.
Has that the auditions that you're getting, the scripts that you're getting?
No, I'm up for a few things, and there's some Netflix stuff, Hulu's. I mean, I've been lucky
Great.
enough. I think because of the quality of work, I've been lucky enough that I'm getting other opportunities, and that's been. But no, I've never felt that because I've done some Hallmark movies that I'm not able to do other stuff. So I don't feel that heat at all.
Good.
Yeah.
But do you get pressure from Hallmark, just like Disney gives to their actors, that you're not able to take certain roles? You
No.
wouldn't play a drug addict on SVU next week.
I know.
does that
Well,
make a
no, that's not
difference?
true.
Yeah.
I was up
No,
for a
they
role.
actually control
I was
that.
up for a role on a new show called Less Than Zero. They're doing it off based on a movie.
Oh my God, I love that movie so
And
much.
it's going to be a huge hit.
I'm
It's a
so
great
excited
show.
for this to come back.
Oh, it's going to be really, really good.
Cool.
And it was a really great role that was dark, but Hallmark was their competitor's Lifetime in a lot of ways, and Hallmark was watching me do 4 seasons playing one of the most darkest sexual shows. They were fine with it. I mean, it's
nice.
business. It's work. It's. They
Are you
believe-
playing Robert Downey?
No. It's the younger versions of them. It's
Okay.
one of the. It's a. I can't talk
Okay.
about it.
Okay.
But
I'm
it's dark.
excited.
It's very dark.
I'm
But look,
excited.
my thing is they've been very respectful because, obviously they're your employer, but they've been very respectful to me as an actor, and I'm very, very committed to them and said,
great.
look, whenever you want to work with me, I put you guys in high priority. But and if something else comes up and they think it's going to obviously help their clients and their talent pool be visible, then we're making movies, we're making TV. It's not about being ownership. This isn't the slave days where someone owns you. It's
That's
about
good to hear,
though.
collaboration.
That's
It's
good to hear.
collaboration and creating content, and every network should. do the
Brennan,
same way.
questions from the chat room. How
no. Oh,
tall is the guy that played your best man in the wedding? Because he is super tall. Because you're 6.
I'm 5'11" and
you're
a quarter.
So
He's
he's
6'9".
Oh my God.
my God.
Yeah.
You guys, he is so tall that the first
God,
scene in the hardware store at the wedding.
You should
is
have
like,
seen it. He's the
crazy
biggest
tall.
person. Alex is
I was gonna say that's
6'7".
Yeah.
6'8". He's
Yeah.
taller than him. He's the tallest person I've ever worked with. in my life.
Whoa.
Yeah, and he's a wonderful. Daniel Cudmore is just a sweetheart of a human.
And
He's
you guys
gentle
have
giant.
chemistry. I mean,
He's
it's
just
like
a very, very
friends,
nice
yeah.
guy. I mean, I help friends of mine all
Did
the
you
time.
have to stand on apple boxes?
I was going to say
No.
that's a director's night.
No. But you know why?
5'11",
Because
6'9",
Pilar, they
trying to
wanted,
figure
I have to stand on
they
apple
wanted
boxes
it to be funny.
Okay.
So the shorter I was,
Okay.
I love
so
it.
if you watch those scenes, I kind of walk in and I'm kind of, they're always kind of these. Brian's down, So I'm maybe 5'11". I'm walking in at 5'9", and he's standing on, an apple box. Sometimes he'll be on an apple box.
Wow.
Very rarely, and he's just a tower. But he's a wonderful human being.
What's funny, he built most of, this was actually a comment,
Well,
he built most of the gazebo, and you guys kind
no.
of sat there and was like,
He built the whole gazebo. I can't build anything.
Let's take a sneak peek, actually not sneak peek, because it premiered, and I watched it actually twice, because I had to look up some of the fan comments.
How do you feel about the movie? Did you enjoy it?
Oh, I loved it.
It did very, very well, too. It was a really sweet little movie, yeah. Very proud of it.
It's like a movie you just like, have a glass of Pinot or coffee, and...
Or 9 shots of tequila.
Yes. Let's take a look.
What are we what are we watching? What scene?
This is it. We're
Oh,
getting
this is
married right there in the yard.
Emily's Country Inn. Some things were just meant to be.
She's the best thing that ever happened to me.
Lacey Chabert and Brennan Elliott together again in the movie event you've been waiting for. The 3rd chapter of the All of My Heart movie series. All of My Heart, the wedding.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Aww.
We were going to take a look at the extended scene, but we're kind of running out of time. Go to YouTube and you can actually get a sneak peek. Those goats are just everything.
Yeah, they steal every scene.
This question is also from the chat room. What is the actual shooting schedule for a film like this? Do you guys have to live right around this property? Is this a set?
We were downtown Vancouver. This is out in kind of like Surrey area. It's about an hour, 20-minute drive. Because there's nothing really to do. Well, there's stuff to do, but we wanted to be downtown on our days off. But we would shoot 15 days and 17-hour days. That's pretty much how I say it.
You shot us in 15 days?
17-hour days.
15 days.
You were on set for 17 hours.
Pretty much. I'd get up at 4:30 in the morning.
You guys look so happy in every scene.
Well, it is called acting. No, I mean, look, Lacey and I are good friends. The director's a wonderful guy.
That's
Our
a
other
really
executive
tight
producer,
shooting
Beth
schedule,
Grossberg, has
though.
done so much stuff, and she's sweet. So we had a really, Lacey and I in our films,
Lacey.
we always make sure that, Lacey.
Lacey.
Shots to Lacey. We always try to make sure that our sets are happy. A happy crew. It's like
That I love that. It has
happy
to be.
crew.
It has to be.
happy show.
Happy family.
Yeah, exactly. I couldn't agree more.
I also did this question. Got this question about Ed Asner. Ed Asner is a legend.
Legend.
7-time nominated Emmy Award winner.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Or no, he's won 7 Emmys. He's
Has
won
he?
7 Emmys.
I think he had. I mean, he's
Not nominated. He's won 7
He's been in
Emmys.
the industry for 302 years. Yeah.
Well, he's like 90.
He was in the
sad.
sitcom Jesus Christ, the Crucifixion, and it was live at that time.
And he was Jesus.
Oh, I love him though.
He's not Jesus. I'm just going to make that very clear. No,
Yes. But when you guys first started shooting with him, when he first showed up with All of My Heart, did you have that inclination, just ask him all these questions, or were
I'm
you
a
like
huge fan of his.
Yeah.
I mean, when I was a kid, my dad would watch. I mean, he's Mary Tyler Moore show, man.
Yeah,
I mean, come on.
exactly.
Oh,
7 Emmys. He won 7. You tell me another actor who's won 7 Emmys.
Yeah.
Betty White?
Maybe.
Maybe.
And she's.
Oh, you guys. I don't know.
You know what I mean? Like he's a good actor.
I was
Like,
Betty's
he's
banker.
really, really
Oh,
talented
you
actor.
were.
And he couldn't even. I mean, he had a cane and he had an assistant, and he was
Right.
trouble walking. And he said he gave it to.
Wow.
He said to me, he's like, I'm just gonna make sure I walk down that aisle, but I got one in me.
Oh.
So
Oh,
when you watch that scene where he's walking
Yeah.
her down, which you can't keep your eyes from tearing.
All the fan
he
comments were-
literally is walking in pain to get her down
Oh
the aisle.
my God!
Oh, yeah, totally,
Stop.
totally.
Now, what do you guys? How do you guys deal with dealing with? And I mean, you've seen every single star, literally, and they're looking at you like, "Oh, IMDb, I'll talk to you." How do you deal with being starstruck? I've been starstruck very few times on this show, but I do get it, and I can't even talk.
Ron?
How do you guys work through
You
that?
haven't been starstruck?
The only person that I was ever starstruck interviewing was
Thanks, Ron.
Hillary
Thank you.
Clinton.
Thank you very much.
Oh,
Hillary Clinton.
Hillary Clinton. Yeah. It was just.
I think with her,
It
we
was-
would just drink beer and
Well,
get
it was
hot
just
sauce.
kind of like.
I'd say, how
it
did
was
you
just-
lose? How did you lose?
It was
did
before
you,
that.
When
It
did
was
you
before
When
that.
did you interview Hillary?
It was many years ago at the.
She's got a presence.
Glamour
There's no
Women of the-
question.
Glamour, and she used, as soon as you introduced yourself, she would use your name several times throughout the end. She just immediately attached to you, and it was really amazing. She was just. Kind of
They always say that
wow.
she's the brains behind Bill.
Yeah, yeah.
And I always thought, well,
But
she's-
I can't even think of a star that starstruck me. And I've
But
been.
Ron, your
I've done
personality is very, because being in the nonprofit world, things go wrong, and then I've never
Things
seen
are
you
on
upset. I've never seen you.
That's I don't know.
He
this is
brings-
who
You
I
roll
am.
with the
He
punches.
grounds everybody.
All right,
Yeah.
for the non-Westworld people here, what do you guys deal with when you have like somebody that you're just so starstruck that you come in face to face with, and not only like you
I just
have
be
to
honest.
work with? Yeah.
Just be honest and just
Yeah.
go, look, dude, you're my jam. I'm just going to be honest with you.
You
Like,
say that you're my jam.
oh, totally.
I
No, I
say
mean-
you're my butter.
I've never said that yet, but if I had to meet a couple of people that I would be
You've
like,
just-
wow,
Yeah.
I would say, listen, I am a ridiculous. I mean, I've been lucky enough to work with some pretty big people that I haven't felt. I mean, I felt nervous and you just do the scene, but I haven't been to the point where I'm like, oh my God, I can't even talk. But there's been moments that if I had to meet those people, I would just say, screw it. I'm just going to look, I'm a huge.
Just being authentic,
I'm a
not
fan.
being tongue-tied.
But what if
Yeah.
you're like in character and you have to do all this stuff?
I'm never in character.
Well, you just do the work. I mean, you just.
You
I
just-
mean, we
yeah,
did
you put
we
it
did
aside.
Strong Medicine.
Yeah.
I
You
mean,
put it
she just
aside.
won like 3 Golden Globes
Yeah.
or something,
Right.
and she was kind of, and I'm playing her love interest, and I mean, I was kind of like,
Even doing a scene with Adam Driver, I was just like, that's Adam.
yeah.
Adam Driver is the actor. When he first hit the scene, I was like, oh, what a weird actor. He'll
Totally.
never do anything. And I'm like, what?
I know. He's such a sweetheart.
The
though.
was it Girls? His big break on Girls with
Yeah.
the show.
That's the first time I
Dunham?
saw
Girls
him,
and then Star
but then I didn't
Wars
realize
and-
how much other. You know how we see like Chris Pratt, then we forget all the little stuff that he did. He's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
oh, he was on ER. He
Yeah,
was
yeah.
in this.
No, look at
Volvo
Ryan
commercial.
Gosling.
Gosling.
realize
Ryan
anybody. You look
Gosling. Ryan Reynolds.
Mickey Mouse
I mean,
Club.
Yeah, Ryan
Yeah.
Gosling was on like some. What was the boat show? Some kids' boat show. I can't remember the name of it.
Oh, The Sweet Life of.
It was
Zack or
no, it was
something?
after that, and then he did the Jewish whatever that movie was where he won it in Sundance or Cannes or something, and he blew up. But we all start somewhere, and you realize.
And that's why I tell the viewers. The viewers think that, oh, I'm gonna be acting for 6 months and I'm gonna send out an audition. It
Good
takes
luck.
more than that. Amy
Good
Schumer
luck.
is not an overnight success, even though we're
No.
told that she is.
Right.
Chris Pratt is not an
An
overnight
overnight
success.
success.
There is no such thing. It's work hard.
My favorite part about going back to The Office is seeing Amy Adams play somebody who's selling purses in the like room there. I'm just
Yeah.
like, oh my God, she started like she's huge, and she had this little like role as a walk on selling purses.
Is it Amy Adams? I can't remember who it was, but a huge star. I can't remember her name. It escapes me. Amy Adams, kind of S girl, was a guest star on Strong Medicine.
Oh, funny.
And now she's
That
like
must
a
be
huge
really
A-list
interesting.
movie star.
Yeah.
I can't remember her name.
It also
I'll know it
teaches
tonight.
you, do not burn your bridges with
No.
whoever.
Totally.
It's like,
No,
oh,
no,
you have a
no.
line, I'm not going to pay attention to you because.
That's exactly,
Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely.
No,
Just
that's
focus
what
on the work, do your work, and be proud.
I think
you have
that's
a job,
the
and
best
just
thing is
that's all you
do
can
your
do.
job.
Even no matter what, like connecting with the crew, the grips, the staff, everybody, like we are all creating this together.
Absolutely.
There's no small role, even behind the camera.
Well, I have a bad reputation. I connect with the crew because,
yes, you
like
do.
a guy with like a tool belt and like it's
Ron.
my worst habit.
You had something to say. What was that?
No, I was going to
Sorry.
say, because I deal with celebrities all the time, the first thing that people ask me is like, what's the worst celebrity, situation that you've had? I tend to remember the nice ones and the good ones
But
much
that's
more
you,
than
Ron.
I do.
I remember the bad interviews I've done
I
here.
mean, of course, there was, the Barbara Streisand craziness and that kind of stuff. But I
But
won't-
you kind of expect that though. That's
You
not
totally right. Why
surprising.
does she get a pass? You totally like, oh, it's Barbara.
Come on. Who brings their dog to the Oscars? That's what I want to know. She does.
Barbara.
Barbara.
It's
dog,
her therapy
Oscars.
dog.
Barbara.
But
I'm blind.
But
Memories like the
I'm always much faster to remember the ones that were nice or did something nice or said something nice than the ones that were disasters.
I like that.
And plus, you never
You're an
realize.
optimist in
You
the
also
world.
never.
I am.
You
I
also
am. I'm a happy person.
You never realize when somebody. I mean, they have a bad day, or they're going through a divorce, or they're in a breakup, or
That's a
they
good
haven't
point,
eaten
too.
by. I mean, there's a lot of things that go on that you don't realize. And in regular work, oh, what's wrong with John? He seems like he's annoyed today. Well, in our business, if someone's annoyed, and they're famous, that could be a big story.
They're tweeting it. It's
Yeah.
on TMZ. That's actually
and
a really
they're
good
just
point.
they're just kind of having a day where
They're
like
having a bad
my
day.
kid pissed me off, or I don't know, whatever. And I mean, I'm not condoning their behavior. I mean, I've been lucky enough to work with a lot of great people, but I've worked with some people. I'm like, whoa, and then you realize, oh, they're going, geez, that's heavy. You know what I mean? Not judge, but
You guys, we didn't even get through my 5 pages of
Show
insurance
prep.
corrections at all. But Kurt, just indulge us for a little bit longer. He's like, I have to get home to my wife.
oh, Kurt's sleeping. just press play and let's move on.
Kurt's like, is it 1981 yet?
Here's one thing I want to talk about is relationships and friends. We all come from different relationship statuses, and if you don't mind, I'll share. Obviously, you're married, total sweetheart. You have 2 kids.
Yep, my little babies.
You also travel a lot for work. Hashtag forever single. Katina, you're married.
I am married, happily married.
And if your other 2 want to share your status or whatever. But being in this industry is so difficult. Not only does it weigh on our energy and our attention span, sometimes, and I'm not equating myself to you guys at all, I hate small talk so much that I am so rude, and I don't mean to be rude, but it's like...
I'm the same way.
I'm so the same way.
There's no. You have one
like,
life to live. You might as well get to the point and make it real and honest, and just tell it how it is.
But when our job is talking, it's like the last thing I want to do to my Uber driver is like, my name's Alexander, and I do this. It's like,
I know.
But it doesn't mean I mean anything less of them or anything.
But we give our energy to people all day. So when we jump into an Uber, we are so ready to shut it down.
Tina and I talk about this because we Uber and Lyft a lot of times to our
I
locations because
have no
we're drinking.
energy to give.
And then we want to get work done, but then we don't want to ignore
Right.
our
Right.
driver and disregard that there's a human being driving us somewhere. But
Totally.
it's like, but the
And
reason
you're,
we're
you're
taking
also
this,
on a little
this
bit. 'Cause that's your
ride-
job. Is you're
Right.
kind of communicative.
For
yeah,
sure.
and we're like, hey, we're on a show, but I have work
to do. Yeah. Like,
So, but there's that aspect of it, of small talk. There's also the aspect that when you go home, your family has missed you so much that they need all of your attention.
I was gone 9 months last year. Yeah.
Oof.
Wow.
9.
I don't know how you do that.
Yeah.
I don't know how
I
your-
got a 4-year-old.
I don't know how your wife
I don't want
does
to see
that.
anybody.
Ron, are you?
And I mean that with all respect,
No,
but
I
it's
mean,
like,
it's-
it's really
it's a
time.
very,
I don't even know if I
very,
have time for it.
Right? No, I think the same thing. I come home
So I
to
could see
an
them like,
empty
do I
house,
have
thank
time?
God, sometimes because I don't want to see anybody. I don't want to talk to anybody.
Yeah,
Just
but
keep
also
quiet.
sometimes...
And I'm the same way when I come home.
Right, but then you've
Oh,
got a
interesting.
wife and 2 kids.
Yeah.
Well, but usually when I fly back, they're in bed. But yeah. No, but I mean,
It's like, let's take
I
that
need to
late night
decompress.
flight for...
See, that's just it. And when you, like, as an actor or something, you're like, I need to decompress. You're like, oh, God, what an ego. It's like, no, you need...
No.
And, like, Katina, you go home to a husband, and sometimes when you guys are filming, like, our Abby night, you probably went home, you're like, oh, my God, you didn't take out the trash? How dare you?
This is a really bad way to say this, but I think this is the great form. I had an acting teacher in New York who used to always tell me, it's the oldest profession, an actor. It's like being a hooker. It's like
Prostitution, yep.
you basically are selling your emotions for money. If you do that all day and you come home, you have nothing left.
And,
So you
and
need to be in
it's
a supportive
exhausting.
environment where that person goes, okay, this is the bed I've created for myself. I.e. my wife. She knows this is the life it is. This is the way it is.
That's why I think it's hard to date people in the entertainment industry if you're in it, because you've got both of those energies going. We also, when we get home,
Wait.
like, we need some... But
Is your wife? What does your wife do?
Well, she takes care of our kids right now, but she's a therapist.
Okay,
Oh.
but I
Oh,
wasn't
wow.
sure
There you
dating.
go.
She's not an
dating-wise,
actress. No.
'cause I, like
Yeah.
dating in the industry or out of the industry.
Well, I
okay.
did it in the industry for years because I thought that was, this is
Just because they can relate or have
Yeah,
the same
and I mean,
lingo.
I'm-
But then you
I
see
didn't
Megan
have-
Mullally and her
And
husband.
Nick Offerman.
Yeah.
didn't
my two
have
favorite
negative
people.
No kids, though.
experience from it, but this just worked out. I mean, I got free therapy.
Well, obviously, it's
I
working.
mean, that's obviously.
Free therapy. But so, what kind of things do you tell your friends, your family?
Well, having all your friends in the industry too. At one point, I thought that was like the best thing in the world, and now
Oh,
it's
I went
like
through that.
I kind of shy away from that because it's like all you do is get together and you talk about the industry, and you're in the industry, and you talk.
And as you get
100%.
older, you
And
don't
you're
want
in
to
the
do it
industry,
24 hours
and
a
it's
day.
just like,
Yeah.
let's talk about something else.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I love that my husband is a chef, so we have two completely different worlds to talk about. But sort of, I bring LA Happy into it.
Artistic, and he's artistic,
He's
too.
artistic,
Yeah, yeah.
exactly. Yeah, so we have like those different challenges that we get to talk about and help each
Yeah.
other out. But I couldn't date in the industry, but it's another artistic perspective that's just not, related to my work per se. But yeah,
Right.
so that works really well.
And I'm sure while he's cooking, he doesn't want somebody talking, you know what I mean? Why do I hate talking so much?
Well, I have a friend of mine who's a chef. He doesn't want to go to a nice restaurant. He wants to go to In-N-Out.
Yeah.
He's like,
I mean,
and he's like
that's
a full-on Red Seal chef. And he's like, I don't
her-
want to go eat
Her
that.
husband loves.
My husband loves KFC,
Yeah?
and he's a super fancy, and he's a super fancy French
Yeah,
chef,
yeah,
and he
You guys, we have had so much fun on this show, and this is what I love about On the Rocks, is we have so many different personalities, and we come together, we tell our stories, and we realize we all have the same stories and the same enjoyment towards entertainment.
yeah.
So thank you to our viewers for tuning in. We end the show by doing rapid fire.
You didn't prepare us for that.
It's for the guest, Ron.
Oh, great.
You're
I'll
my,
just-
you're
Oh,
my
Ron,
co-host.
Ron was nervous.
But I need you to
Okay.
to react. And then after you do rapid fire, you're going to tell our viewer. What do you guys? You guys have your own secret language. It's creepy. It's like they're from Sideshow. I will never leave you. Wait, what did you guys just say?
Well, we didn't plug s'mores.
Oh.
That's really important. We told our s'mores viewers to watch and listen.
Oh,
and
plug it. Do it.
Yeah.
S'mores is a new
Love
platform.
s'mores.
Yeah.
We've
love
250,000 listeners. One video you guys did got 52,000
views.
It wasn't my
S'mores,
video.
S'mores wants to
amazing.
talk to you, Alexander, too.
S'mores
I'm
wants to
gonna
talk
do a
to
little
you,
email
so-
introduction as well.
Yeah.
So
s'mores.
I think On the Rocks would be great with s'mores because I like a s'more.
First of all, it sounds delicious.
Right, that's
Right?
the point. It's a feel good. So
no,
it's,
but we
that's-
have 340,000 views, I
Yeah.
think, now.
Oh, wow.
It's a great platform.
Yeah.
And what I love is like it's so open for a lot of people to participate.
Good for you guys.
Exactly.
And yeah, the viewers get rewarded. They get rewarded as well.
So everyone gets
By
rewarded.
getting s'mores, or what do they? How do they get rewarded?
That'd be a smart tie-in. Hershey's.
Okay, go.
Yeah,
So we just
sorry.
had to plug. Sorry.
Yeah, but please
So
do.
you should.
Please do.
S'mores. Who wants to go first? Rapid fire.
Brandon.
No.
Lacey. No.
Yeah,
Lacey's quick, get her back on the phone.
Let's call her.
Lacey, wake up! Wake up! You're doing all right. Let's go.
We would hear the real Lacey like. Rah, rah, rah. Yeah.
Brennan, I
Does
was
anybody
told
need
to
a little
work
bit more
with you.
before we do
I was
this?
told to work with
We
you.
could go. That's
Okay.
fine.
Okay. Who wants to go
Katina
first?
needs more.
Okay.
Pilar's
I'll go.
going.
Katina
Pilar,
goes.
Pilar's going.
Pilar's
Katina
gonna
gets
go while
scared.
these
I
are
gotta go.
Okay. It's not like in. It's like.
I know
whoa.
everybody's so scared.
Pilar,
just put you in
you're
the first seat because you're first, then we go this way. But
I
I'll
know,
go
I know,
first.
I
I'll
know.
go first.
Yes, please.
There's nothing.
This is actually from a fan of yours, so they want to know what your type is. Who is your celebrity crush?
Ooh, Pilar, the topic of the day.
Celebrity crush.
Also, people are fans. I'm not gonna like get into all this. Your long hair versus your short hair.
When'd you cut your hair?
Like what, 2.5, 3 months ago?
Yeah.
Wow. How long was
I don't know
it?
what the
It was
long
long.
looks,
It was
but
long.
It was
was
long.
long.
I have to tell you, the look was dramatic.
really?
Well, yeah. I mean, she's really, really long hair.
Yeah.
You just
What
got
do you
sick
like
of
better,
it?
Alexander?
Oh no.
I think the short
I'm
looks
gonna
pretty
grow
good.
it out a little
Sure,
bit.
looks great.
Sure looks great.
Looks
Thank
really
you.
good.
I
yeah.
love short.
Pilar looks great in anything that she does. So.
Thank you.
So who's her? What is it? The question?
Celebrity
Celebrity
crush.
crush.
It's called
Okay,
rapid
now
fire.
hold on a
Kurt is
second.
like,
I know, really.
I have to go home to my.
Kurt, I'm paying you. But what
Well,
is?
I mean, I guess during my college years, I haven't thought about it recently, but my celebrity crush was Edward Norton.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Interesting. Wow.
Wow.
Brennan?
I haven't-
You're going right to me already.
No, no, no,
it's-
no, it
oh,
goes-
I thought it was everybody
No,
in
no,
one
it
question.
goes-
Okay.
Now
There's
this is the
different
Pilar
rapid fire.
matured version.
Okay.
Yes.
She went from Edward Norton to
Oh, to now?
yeah.
Who's my celebrity
No,
crush?
not like 20 years ago. Now,
Like-
like who's your celebrity crush now with the short hair?
Edward Norton is the IRS's celebrity
Edward
crush.
Norton is pre, 20 years ago. Now,
He was very
Okay.
sweet to Courtney Love, and that's why I will always love him.
dude, he's a genius.
So now?
No.
Oh, God. You rapid fire. I don't know. I'm thinking, and
Everybody knows who their celebrity crush is.
I said Edward Norton.
No, but now.
But he hasn't.
Now.
He hasn't been in a movie in a while, right? I mean, this is
I've been
rapid.
focusing on myself a lot this year, so I haven't thought of
wow.
men.
Oh, I
and
love that
other
answer. That's an
things.
empowering
Well,
answer.
let's-
Yeah.
Herself.
I have been loving myself hard.
Let's put the
Your celebrity
narcissism
crush
away.
is you.
And let's
No.
focus.
Pilar Holland.
Pilar,
That is
your
who I don't even
superhero.
want. I want to tell you, but
Rapid
I can't
fire.
because I feel
Oh my
like
God.
we need to
Rapid
keep
fire.
it.
Rapid fire.
Kurt is charging me by the minute.
She's editing.
PG.
Yeah.
She's editing, by the way.
Your superhero power.
Oh,
And why? Rapid.
I am going.
You're
I have
the
it
worst
ready.
at rapid,
I
by the
have
way.
it ready. I am the love doctor, saving one heart at a time.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
So
I
what's,
feel you all.
what's your power? You could
She's the heart
Saving
doctor.
a heart
reanimate
attack.
I
hearts?
connect and.
So if I have a heart attack, she
I
can
connect
save
Are you
and
like
I-
a super matchmaker?
No.
If you have a heart attack, she can save you.
No, that is not it either.
She
Brett.
carries
you guys
bare
don't
ass
even-
We don't know what you
You
mean.
don't get me.
She carries
Katina
bare
gets
Marvel
me.
just declined.
Katina gets me.
Katina wrote a whole script about this.
It's about bringing love to the planet. I bring love,
Oh, okay.
Alexander.
That's good.
I bring
That's good.
love.
Love
That's
it.
good.
Do
Okay.
not.
Yeah, I'm
the
not
world
investing in
needs
that.
more of it. You know what? The world.
Jaded.
superhero power ever.
Jaded.
Thank
My
you, Ron.
superhero is
Thank
power
you.
reading to
You
children.
and me, positivity.
It's supposed to be an
Thank you.
the first instinct that comes up. you should
That's
say it,
true,
right?
Brennan. Brennan is.
You should just say the
All
first.
right.
Who's your celebrity crush? Boom. Who's your
celebrity crush?
No, we're asking you.
Well, no, I think we've moved on.
We'll get to me.
All right, rapid fire.
Okay.
That's not your question, but I would like to know.
No.
Yeah. What? Oh.
That's not my question. That was Pilar's question.
Okay.
Okay,
Can it be
worst
his
date
question?
you've ever had.
Oh my god.
Oh,
we're
God.
st-
Guitar,
my God, we're
guitar,
still in
please
our-
tell the guitar story.
I already saw the impulse.
Rapid.
Guitar.
Okay, I went on a Bumble date. It was my first and only Bumble
Bumble's
date.
for lesbians, by the way.
No,
Nobody's
it's
saying
not.
that.
I just auditioned for
totally
lesbians
is.
today, so maybe I'm a lesbian. I might try women. Actually, I've been talking.
What's
about
Bumble?
it.
Is that
I don't
really
know.
a lesbian dating
it's
site?
It's not supposed to be, but that's where
Swipey
most
thing.
lesbians
Okay,
go.
so you went
go.
Was it a guy or a girl? Was it a guy?
It was a guy. No,
Okay.
I have.
What
I
happened?
mean, well,
She's
I've
straight.
maybe played with lesbian.
Okay. She's a heart doctor.
She
Go with
played
it.
with
Go with it,
Now
Alexander.
Kurt woke up. Now Kurt is like,
I
oh.
have love for everybody. I just told you.
Yeah.
As she mentioned, she's a flexitarian. Okay.
That's brilliant. Brilliant.
Full
Although a
circle.
pescatarian would have been better.
So what happened in this date?
Your
want to
worst
go
date.
there.
Oh, I don't even know. Where
Rapid,
I start.
rapid.
Okay, rapid. We ended up. I don't know why I ended up back at his apartment but I told all my friends I was going to leave in 30 minutes, and he ended up like trying to serenade me with a guitar.
Ew. I'm gonna vomit.
That's
And
sweet.
Ew.
Yeah,
I
if you're
think
American
that's so
Psycho.
sweet.
No, exactly. Thank you.
He's hotter than any guy I've ever dated.
First date's
And
like,
the
I'm
way
going to
he
play you.
kissed
a-
me, the way
Thank
he
you.
kissed me, he like tried to kiss me on the nose and like sucked on my nose.
Oh,
And
he is
then
gay.
Wow.
and then the next day he asked me if I
He's
wanted
gay.
to see a dick pic, and I said no, thank you.
Oh.
And then he sent me a picture of Richard Nixon. I didn't respond, and then he told me I was an
that's
idiot.
funny.
He
That's
told me I
funny.
was an idiot and I have no sense of humor.
But I have to
So
tell
you
you,
went from kissing the nose to dick pic to Nixon.
Nixon.
Bad. It's over.
But to
I
his
think he
defense,
was-
he was at the Nixon Library in Long Beach, so
With
yeah.
his dick out. That's great.
You're Belinda.
great.
You're Belinda.
she'll support you in anything. It's like,
You guys are the perfect team.
Yeah, really.
you murdered somebody, but it was kind of
It's the best interview of my life. I literally like want to.
Okay,
wait, can I ask a question?
Okay. No, you guys, this is the worst rapid fire. Kurt literally, he's already in his car driving home.
His head's exploding.
He's ordered his Uber.
Sunday, and
It's
I had a
outside
question,
waiting.
but we'll just keep going.
I'm gonna pee my pants. Okay.
I've had some
Shouldn't
Bravo
the guy
TV
at least
stars
buy
pee
you
their
a
pants.
juice?
I already have, so don't
Wait,
worry
wait,
about
wait. I've had some Bravo TV stars pee their pants in the seat, and they don't say anything, and then they leave, and I'm like,
Shut up.
yep, I won't say.
It's those 2-hour interviews and all the vodka. It's got to come out
I think you
somehow.
need to get Depends as a sponsor.
Depends. Brought to you by.
It's better than a kiss on the nose.
And the
I'd rather-
guitar.
I
And the
think
guitar.
that's
And a
sweet,
guitar
though.
and
You
Richard
guys,
Nixon.
To me, that
And
would
he
be
plays
intimidating.
Madonna.
Because-
No, it's an ego. It's like, oh, let me play my sweet guitar for you.
Oh,
so
sorry,
you can sing
Taylor
it. Get
Swift. Taylor Swift drags out her guitar for anything that she's doing. Everywhere we go, Taylor Swift.
Everywhere. Like, I got
Everywhere.
3 messages today on my DM that was like, do you know you look like Taylor Swift? I'm like, I don't know.
Pilar, do you remember the text message I
Yes,
sent
yeah,
you?
I showed her.
posted
I was
a picture
with
of
her.
us,
I
like,
was with
oh my
her.
God, you hung out with Taylor Swift. Anyway.
Okay.
This is rapid fire.
Yeah.
Rapid.
This is the most unimpulsive
Ron's
rapid
like,
fire vote.
IMDb is not going to pick this up. Pilar, what is the most overrated TV show in your opinion?
Overrated.
Oh.
Yep.
Fuck. I'm sorry.
It could be from the past, so you don't get yourself in trouble.
God damn. Sorry.
And don't say the original Magnum PI either. That's way too bad.
I have an
It's
answer.
way too bad.
Overrated. You have an answer? Ron,
Modern
what's-
Family.
I love that answer.
It's a good answer, actually.
That's a really good
Most
answer.
overrated. Not funny.
Not
Never
for
has been.
The first
never
3
will be.
seasons
The first 3
actually
seasons.
made families start. Wow. Pilar, what is your most overrated TV show?
Come on, Pilar.
Oh my God, you guys, these are hard. How do we even think about this? Like in
Do
the second
classic.
rapid
Like
fire.
my classic is I Dream of Jeannie. What an awful show.
Ugh.
Most overrated. Alexander, I don't know.
What's your first
Impossible.
instant that came up?
Yeah, you thought about something. You're being careful. It could be classic, like.
Oh, she
10
went
years
all of my
later.
heart, but she wouldn't say it.
I'm just kidding. Couldn't possibly be Grey's Anatomy now, right?
No. It
could
first
be.
9 seasons were beautiful and amazing.
The first 14 seasons.
Oh,
were
we're
just-
having the actor, by the way, the Asian new.
Oh,
gay
the
guy.
hot Asian guy who
Yes,
plays the
he's-
gay. Yeah, he's hot. Yeah.
Fans talk about trolls. Fans are not liking him.
Oh,
Really?
no.
But he's going to be on the show to talk about it.
When? Can I
Next
co-host?
month.
Can-
Well, if
Can
you
I say
want,
the most overrated
Can I
movie
do
right
red
now?
carpet
Can I do
for
that?
IMDb?
I know what that answer
The
is.
most overrated movie?
Right now,
Yeah, yeah.
Crazy Rich Asians.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I haven't seen it yet.
That's a good
I'm
answer.
sorry to our
That's a good
sponsors
answer.
from Panda Express.
I can't think of shows right now, but that
That wasn't
movie,
racist,
I
by
was
the way.
like,
God, please don't send me racist emails. I'm the least racist.
I can't think of a show, but that movie.
You
was-
could say a
really-
reality show, too.
Okay.
You could say reality show. Any
My
TV
most
show.
overrated TV show is The Cosby Show. It wasn't that funny. It wasn't
What about
that
modern
funny.
day?
I don't know.
Because-
I
Not
thought there
like
were some
the
very
The
show.
first
funny
couple
things.
of seasons of Modern Day were hilarious because it brought
You mean Modern Family,
Modern Family.
not
brought-
modern day? Yeah.
Okay, this is the worst rapid fire, and Kurt is so
I'm
mad.
sorry. I can't remember.
If you could go back in time and star as the male lead in any film, which one would it be? You're really bad at going back in time.
I don't remember. Okay, first of all, I have a bad memory. Can we talk about that?
Okay, rapid
Katina
fire.
knows that.
I can contest to that.
So you asked me memory questions.
any
I'm
ma-
like, I don't know.
As every female, like as a male, I would be like, oh, I would have this dream female role, like Mame or All About Eve. What is your dream male role that you could go back and do?
I guess it probably would be. Like maybe
my
something with
God,
Marlon
Pilar.
Brando, you know?
That's
Something Marlon Brando?
Yeah.
That was the name of his biography. Something Marlon Brando. You know, his career was like something.
Okay, I would play. What is it? Stella.
I don't think you can get the role since you didn't know. Stan Kowalski.
Something like that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Kowalski.
Oh,
Good-
we
good
don't
job,
even know this
Alexander.
big. You studied at
Yeah.
Juilliard.
Mr.
You
Professional.
know. Who did Marlon Brando? Okay. Streetcar Named Desire. Anyway,
What's
Pilar,
his
you
name?
actually
Underwater
lost.
first.
What's his character's name?
Kowalski.
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 Stanley Kowalski?
Stanley Kowalski.
So
And
you
a
actually are the
tidbit
first
of
person
information.
in On the Rocks history to lose at rapid fire,
Wow.
even though it's not even a contest.
Yeah.
Who's next? Who's
That's
next?
what happens. With
Katina,
Lacey.
Brennan.
Brandon.
Oh, wait, Pilar, tell our viewers and listeners where they can find you.
At Pilar Holland.
Spell it, please.
Just think
Oh
about
my
it.
God, you guys.
You guys, stop it!
You guys have to watch LA Happy Hour.
Pillarholland.
Pilar
hang
or
out.
Pill?
Your agent's going to love you for this
One
episode.
L.
Okay. We have to finish up.
Okay.
Brennan or Katina?
Katina.
Oh.
Katina.
Yes,
Yeah,
of
let's
course.
see.
Go,
Go.
Katina.
Worst audition ever.
For Days of Our Lives.
Oh, I love this story. See, Pilar.
How about I just woke up? I just woke up.
See, we all did.
I clearly
No,
wasn't
but you were
sexy
taking too
enough.
long.
And the casting director, I actually did a blog about this on my YouTube channel, was screaming, "You have huge boobs and big hair, and I can't believe you couldn't pull this off," is what she said to me.
Wow. Really?
What was the scene? Do you even remember?
And you look
I
like Taylor
do-
Swift.
I don't
That was
remember
the
the
next.
scene. I mean, it was a love scene, but I thought I was supposed to be like loving. I didn't know I was supposed to be like sex. It didn't feel sexual. It felt like a loving. I don't know. I was trying to be true and honest, and clearly I failed, and I didn't get the job.
I love it. That's a good cast.
You know what, Alexander?
Sorry.
Very
There are
quick
no
answer.
follow-up questions in rapid fire. Next.
Very quick answer.
Katina, you're very into comedy. Your dream female comedian co-star.
Okay, these
Wait a
questions
minute.
are a lot easier.
Wait a minute.
That's rude,
Wait a minute,
partner.
Pilar.
That's rude.
It
That's
gets
rude,
it
partner.
gets different.
Okay.
Who has passed?
Ooh,
Who has passed?
Pilar,
A
do
dead
you mind? Did you hear what I added?
Yes.
Pilar doesn't even know
Oh,
what.
who is passed?
Who is dead? Yes, dead.
Who's dead? Think
Dead.
about that.
Oh my God, that's
A
rude.
dead comedian.
Oh my God.
Please say Gilda
I'm gonna
Radner.
lose all my sponsors
That's.
because
I
of
think
Pilar.
that's who it has to be, right?
Gilda Radner?
Don't say Betty White.
No.
She's
no,
still alive.
she's still alive. It has to. Then
No,
it
but
would
she's
have to-
dead.
it
She's
would
been
have
dead
to be
since '86,
Gilda.
but
I
she's
mean,
still
who
here.
wouldn't- Who wouldn't
Her
want to
carcass
be?
is.
No,
What about
it's
Gilda
fine. You guys
Radner?
should talk.
Lucille Ball.
No. What about Madeline Kahn?
Madeline Kahn. Yeah.
I don't have a.
She would
Young
pick up on your
Frankenstein.
name.
Not sure.
over,
Yeah, she
Okay.
would.
I think
It would be Gilda. I love you, Gilda. Can't wait to watch your biography.
Who is Mel?
Her
Who's
documentary is
Milda?
getting award-winning,
Yeah.
whatever. And I'm glad.
Gilda!
That it's done.
Are you get
Okay,
it together,
Gilda
please?
Radner was.
You guys, we have to. God,
Okay.
Kurt's really about to turn us
Kurt,
off.
your wife loves you. 10 minutes ain't gonna hurt you.
His wife actually likes me until I pass
you
out at
don't
their
know.
house, stealing
Oh,
their
no.
Harry Potter wand.
God.
In about 5 minutes, Mama Rose is going to be engineering this show,
Oh,
so we
yeah,
better hurry.
that's gonna be amazing.
Mama Rose.
No, she gets mad. when I
No,
trick them
okay.
out. Your hangover the next morning ritual.
Jack in the Box all the way.
Oh, wow.
Done. Do you see how that was done?
Do you
That
see
is
what
a
kind of
rapid
question
fire.
that is?
What's yours?
And Jack
A
in the Box
bacon,
went.
a flexitarian bacon egg,
Oh,
and
it's too
onion.
late, Pilar.
Oh my
It's too late for you.
Flexitarian. And are you
Jack in the
eating?
Box.
Are you eating that with
That's
a man
perfect.
or a woman?
Jack in the Box is the hangover.
It is the cure. It is the cure.
Okay. What would your Real Housewife tagline be? And I want you to swivel in your seat. When you come
Okay.
back,
Right.
it's going to be your
There's
tagline.
your camera. There's your
Yep.
camera.
Okay. I have to swivel.
I'll get out of your way.
Can you add a little reverb?
Okay, ready? I got it. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Wait, I'm gonna get caught in this
I don't
cord.
even
No, you're
watch
not.
that
Just
show.
do a little.
I'll
Okay,
do
a little
like
solo.
chord
Ready?
management. All right, ready, go.
That was Greek, bitch.
Wow. Wow.
Andy Cohen, he watches the show.
Wow.
Does he?
And he's going to have you on.
It's Greek, bitch. Okay. If you had to audition for American Idol, what would your song be?
Ooh.
Oh God, what do I sing? Oh,
Because comedians are always told you have to sing.
oh, it's got to be. It's
Ron, are you checking your
Yeah.
calendar?
It's
Like,
old
what are you
school.
doing? Hello, we're still on the show.
The reviews are coming in.
Actually, reviews are coming in. Yeah.
Oh, it would be something old school R&B. Like I was part of TLC. Can I get joiners in the group? Can we all sing together?
Like waterfalls or something. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Like like a little creep. Like it would be TLC.
Creep?
Okay. Okay.
I would.
Could you sing a little? Because I don't know what that means. I've met a lot of creeps, but I haven't heard one.
Might not have been a great answer, but it was fast. So let's keep going.
Yeah, it was fast. Thank you, Ron.
You can't have her go
Set
fast
an example.
and then ask her to elaborate.
Katina, literally turning the lights off.
Bye.
Katina, he's turning the lights off in all of Sunset Gower. Shonda Rhimes upstairs is like, wait, what? I was writing episode. No, Brennan. You guys, I'm so surprised that you're so fun, by the way.
He's so.
No, I don't mean. I don't mean it in a wrong.
Totally thought you were going to be a bore.
I thought you were the biggest douche of the planet. You're actually not bad.
This is gonna be a
No, I mean that it's like.
Good night, America. Holy mother
I
of Christ.
meant they're like, I'm Hallmark Channel.
You're fired. You're fired. You're
I
fired.
want to see his rapid fire now that he's at 3 to
Oh,
warm
it's
up
coming
to.
up. Katina, where can our listeners and viewers find you?
You can find
I
me
gotta go
at
with the instinct, right?
Katina Nikou.
First thing.
Katina is Katina. Nikou is Nikou. And you can also find me at LA Happy _ Yay!
Katina with a K.
Katina with a K.
That's
No,
more
Katrina.
TV.
See, the Brennan
No,
thing I
but
get.
Katina
'cause-
with a C is what I'm used to, but Katina
Ew,
with a K.
gross.
Ooh.
I've never seen Katina with the C.
No, I've never
Although
seen
she's
that
been a
either.
C.
Okay, Tina.
Not tonight, she has.
Wow.
Only
You
certain
guys, I
times
used to
of
be
the month.
straight. I actually dated a Katina in college.
You did not.
Swear to God, I used to be straight.
I mean, I
You
knew
used
he
to
used to
be
be
I
straight.
used to be straight, but a
I don't believe
Katina? Give me a break.
He was a ladies' man, Ron.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was.
He was
be
a
honest-
player.
We know the backstory.
God.
Yeah.
Close your
So
eyes.
clearly
it's
not
the
a
same.
Gold Star gay.
Oh,
We
no.
won't go there. Okay.
What happened to Gold Star, by the way? Remember we used to buy cheap theater tickets on Gold Star? Okay, anyway,
Yes.
Brennan.
Gold Star is also an awesome bar in Chicago, just to let you know.
It's
Brennan.
also a category
Yes.
of gay.
Yes, Gold Star means
You've
something
never
else.
slept with a
What
woman.
is
I guess.
Then there's
Gold
platinum.
Star.
Then there's platinum.
What's platinum
You've
mean?
never slept with
What's
a
the
woman.
devil's
and-
triangle?
Wait,
Platinum
wait,
means
wait.
you've never slept with a woman.
and you were delivered by cesarean section.
Oh, that's right. I heard that one. I heard
So
that
what's
one.
the other one?
So
What's
you've never
what's
actually
next?
touched a vagina.
You guys, can we please let Kurt go home?
Okay.
Brennan,
all right. Yes, yes.
if you could go back in time and star in any film, which one would it be?
Godfather.
Oh, nice.
What role would you play?
Probably James Caan's role. Yeah.
Interesting. I
Or
can see
Marlon Brando's, but I'd have to get really
I
fat.
can see it.
And I don't know if I want to get that fat. But James Caan's role.
Why
That
do you
movie it's still is one of my favorites. Yeah, one of those two roles. Or one of those two roles.
So if this question was towards me, like the most overrated film, it would be The Godfather.
Oh,
Really?
Yeah. Sorry,
no,
sorry.
no, sorry. Yeah, I kind of
That's the
agree.
most overrated
I kind of
film?
agree.
Yeah.
Alexander.
Sorry.
I kind of like.
Should we hug this out?
Goodfellas over
Should we hug this
Godfather.
out?
Me too. I
yeah.
freaking love Goodfellas.
Yeah, I'm
We
more.
could hug
I'm more
anything else.
Goodfellas.
Okay,
than
rapid fire.
Okay, sorry.
What are the last 2 TV shows? Because I feel the last 2, not the last one, but the last 2 TV shows that you binge watched
Ooh.
were.
90 Day Fiancé and Little People Atlanta.
Oh wow.
What?
Because my wife likes the Little People
You're-
of Atlanta and 90 Day Fiancé, and I basically sit there, and that's her jam, so I just watch it.
Really?
You're a
Yeah.
big TLC
Now,
fan, obviously.
Do you guys?
I don't like either one of them. They make me angry, and I drink a whole lot more when I watch them, which I think
Woo.
makes
Oh.
them better. But that's the one thing we're binge watching now.
But Brennan,
and I actually am a
in
huge
West Hollywood.
48
I'm gonna
Hours
get
and
a bottle of
Dateline fan
wine.
because
I
I watch.
love Dateline.
I'm in.
Yeah.
I don't want to go.
I
home
don't
and watch
understand. So Brennan,
TV. I don't really want to watch it. What?
my mom is so addicted to Dateline and car chases. It's so weird.
Car chases.
Literally, we could be at like an event.
I like to watch things that I cannot comprehend, like 48 Hours on a Serial Killer. I'm like, what? Like, how can I can't get it.
How about those prison shows on the weekend on MSNBC? I don't know about
Not
those.
really into that. Not really into that.
But those like serial killer shows.
I don't like to
I'm
be confined.
It could
Yeah.
literally be any one of us.
Totally.
They have like, Katina, kill the host.
No, but when I come home from work, I watch
creepy.
stuff that numbs me out. And these shows, like 90 Day Fiance, to me, like think about it for a second.
Yeah.
You meet somebody in another country, you have 90 days to get married. How is that a
Wow.
recipe for success?
But the
It's
fact
a
that you love your
frickin'
wife
train
so
wreck.
much that you will watch those
Well, it makes her
shows,
happy,
yeah.
so I'll watch it and it numbs me
Yeah.
out. But if I'm going to do my thing, it's 40 hours, Dateline. It's kind of these shows that I go, interesting.
That's so intense, though.
Dateline on ID.
Okay.
Wow.
After a day of shooting, what
Yeah.
is your personal ritual?
Oh, that's a good one.
Glass or two of red wine, for sure.
Really?
Absolutely.
Hate
Cabernet?
red wine.
Me
You don't
too.
like red? No. I'm more of a
Malbec.
Rioja Tempranillo.
I eat a whole
Spicy,
pizza.
warm. You like that? No?
Chilean.
Chile.
Yes, Argentinian.
Malbec.
I come home. It could be like night shoots, 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning, 6 in the morning, and I will have a glass and I'll sit there, just 2,
Yeah.
sip them. It'll decompress me, and then I'll read the scenes for the next day, and I'm out.
She's still working.
Cool.
You're not looking
It kind
at
of, you know, what's funny? I think it's my way of relaxing from the day, so I can get open to read the material for the next day. But it's my little gap. I don't put on TV. I don't eat or whatever. I don't like watch some sports center. That's my thing.
Beautiful.
I like
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Cuts my mind off, and then
Your guilty binge food.
I wake up feeling like shit. No, I'm kidding.
This is from
my
a
guilty
fan
binge.
who's a leading star on not your network, but somebody else.
So you're asking me what my binge food is, like my cheat
Your
meal,
guilty
or when I?
binge food that you're just like, when you're not working and you're just like, I'm gonna eat this.
So I don't care about calories or dieting or keto or anything.
Nope.
It's called
Oh
binge.
God, it's binge.
Yeah, but there's binging and there's cheat meals. Like I binge
No.
when I cheat.
No,
You can't binge
binge,
celery.
binge. So not binge. Peanut butter. That's my. Are you talking binge like fatty? Okay.
I just
Carl's
call it
Jr. double
That's
bacon
coming-
Western
There you go.
cheeseburger.
Carl's Jr.
double bacon Western
bacon
cheeseburger.
cheeseburger is-
Let me tell you something.
That's my thing. Here's the thing.
Probably better than sex if you're really hungry, isn't it?
Brennan, we
Not
just
really,
connected
but we're
us.
getting close.
We just
Tina has
connected.
really good sex, just so you know. With her
I was like, wait, what is this cheeseburger?
I just
What?
got on the
No,
show
you
for a
guys
second
don't even
time.
Understand. You guys don't even understand. I
No,
filmed
listen-
Glitter Bomb and I can't eat for like 6 days. It's the double Western bacon.
Is it not the?
cheeseburger.
Have you guys
It's-
ever had it? Honestly, you don't have to eat the whole thing. Two
When
or
I
three
get
bites.
sick, my
every
mom-
human being, and I don't.
It's the best
I haven't
thing
had
ever.
one in like a year, but when I have one,
in a year?
it's been a long time.
Fuck you.
6 months.
Brennan.
Yes.
What would the name of your biography movie be?
Oh, my biography movie. Sorry. I don't know. My biography
He's trying to
movie.
be fast because I take up too much time.
Whatever comes up, I'm just trying to.
See?
I'm
Yeah,
trying to do
top
the
of your head.
anti-Pilar.
Top of your head.
No, I'm kidding.
Sorry.
Yeah.
My
Very exciting.
I have no idea.
Really?
Say the question again. What is my what?
What would the name of your
I'm
biography
dead and my
movie?
biography-
Let me add to this. What
Yeah.
would the name of your biography movie be on Lifetime?
Lifetime.
Oh, every network's different though, right? On Lifetime.
Killer with a butter knife. Would that be your?
Thanks for watching. I'm a man.
I don't even know what to do with that.
I have no idea.
Brennan, can you please tell us your extensive social media
I
following?
can't. I can't. Twitter.
It's
I
Brennan
think it's
Elliott.
Brennan_Elliott, and then I think that Lacey.
Lacey,
Cheers,
cheers,
guys.
Lacey.
we ran out. Yeah.
Lacey had Brennan Elliott 2, I think.
And he doesn't
on
have a
Instagram.
Facebook.
And I don't do Facebook.
So Kurt, I'm so sorry. Kurt is usually so happy when we have so
Kurt
many
looks
great
like he
people.
just literally wants to quit the show.
Well, he might.
What happened, Kurt? Your wife says.
But here's
Well,
the
I
thing.
quit the show when Brennan Elliott showed up. Pilar couldn't answer, and Brennan just got shit-faced and just answered stupid questions.
But Ron and
usually-
Katina held it
Wait
together.
a minute. He usually
Exactly.
wants to
Thank
quit
God
because
for it.
Yeah, Katina with the K did a great job.
he wants to usually quit the show because it's so gay. We have like drag queens and like all this. Sorry, Kurt.
Kurt
anyway,
wants to quit the show?
We love you, everybody.
you guys,
We do,
next week
yes.
have Tommy Wiseau and Greg Sisto from The
Wow.
Room. And
Welcome to boredom.
Outstreak.
Wow.
I'm kidding. He's the most excited. I want to be on that show.
On that note, thanks so much. We'll see you next Tuesday.
Bye, everybody.
This has been On the Rocks with Alexander, every Tuesday at 7 p.m. on Universal Broadcasting Network. Find me on Facebook on the Rocks Radio Show. Tweet me or Instagram me at On the Rocks On Air. See you next Tuesday.